All right. See all you guys in chat, so start now. Not gonna wait for it. All right, it's Monday. I am so tired, like I am every Monday. I need a nap. I need a nap bad. Or some yerba mate. That'll work too. All right. Let's see where you guys are at. Levon, what's up? Chicago, what's up? Tired, what's up? Mike, what's up? Woke, what's happening? Pizza time. Oh, dude, pizza? I want some pizza. All right. It has been, it's been busy. Like, I haven't even gotten around to sending my emails. There's just a lot of stuff to do, and then I'm trying to take days off and not spend all my time doing stuff. Then I'm in Discord, having GIF wars. It's been good times. Good times. But a lot going on. Donald Trump, now a sad sack. Donald Trump has gone full sad sack of shit. He's now crying. Alex Jones is crying. Everybody's crying now. It's funny. This just reminds me of all the times that people, like, they talk so much shit. And then something bad, like, you know, your cult leader getting convicted of felonies. Not even bad felonies either. Not even, like, they're like the least bad felonies you could be convicted of. And they're just crying. Like the end of the world has happened. It's all over. These are people that were telling us forever that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. Donald Trump's still going to win. And now all of a sudden, everybody's a bunch of fucking sad sacks. Set in the right plight. MTG is crying. Yeah, what's up, Sharon? Everybody's crying now. I thought that this was not so. I thought this was supposed to be just the way it was gonna happen. We knew it was rigged. It was gonna be rigged. We're still gonna win. And now it's a lot of low energy. It's like they petered out. They came on really, really strong. Like a WWE promo, like some Macho Man Randy Savage. The cream always rises to the top. Ooh, yeah. And then it's like fucking the cocaine wore off, and now it's like sad sack all over the place, dude. Major sad sack energy. Donald Trump's up here talking about how it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. They found me guilty of falsifying business records. It's actually a really big deal. In business, it's like he almost gets it. He's like this fucking close to actually understanding. It's so crazy. It's so crazy to watch. I seriously, I did not see the sad sack energy coming. I thought for sure we were going to take it up 2 or 3, maybe 4 more notches. And instead, they just like really dialed it down. You know, like Donald Trump's fucking moping around, his head's down. Some fucking interviews talking about, like, I didn't really say that, bro. Like, I don't understand why people are super mad at me. I don't understand why people are super mad at me right now. Like, God, I didn't talk a bunch of shit and then this happened. It's so crazy. MTG's still crazy, though. What's happening, Don? MTG's still up there she's the only one. MTG's still giving it, like, her all, right? Like, MTG's still up there, like, yelling at Fauci. You did the AIDS! You did the COVIDs! Fauci's out there Fauci's like, damn, I actually feel good right now. Like, he's like, nah, you suck. You got a bad-built butch body. How awesome would it have been to hear Fauci drop that on her? Fauci should have dropped it on her. I'm not saying that we go full idiocracy right off the bat, but if I was Fauci, I would have dropped a bad-built butch body on her. Fuck it. What does he have to lose? Just everybody's shitting on him anyways. What's happening, Jess? Bobert's got some sad sack energy right now, right, Plight? Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Hit the like button. It's the 3 little dots on the top right of your phone. You hit the dots, you hit the likes. more people come through and they watch the channel. Also, we're almost to 10K subscribers. I think we're like 87 away, guys. 87 away from 10K. Let's get there. Let's hit the 10K number. Yeah, Boebert's got some real sad sack energy. You know, she went over there with some real actual Republicans with that Holstert, whatever the fuck his name is. We should play that video of her just getting her ass handed to her in that debate. And she's like, why are you being mean to me? Why are you being mean to me? Jim Jordan is just being Jim Jordan. James Comer has decided he's just going to go back to being a regular ass conservative again. He's like, fuck it. Like, I don't care. I guess this is a bad idea anyways. But there's some real sad sack energy. They toned it down really quickly. You're not a doctor! That's what she did. Yeah, she said that, right? So I'm not going to refer to him as doctor. Then I'm not going to refer to her as congresswoman. Okay? If we just all get to start deciding who is or isn't good at their jobs, then I think we should start with fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene and tell Marjorie Taylor Greene she's not a congresswoman. She's just some fucking trailer park, weak-ass, wannabe CrossFit guru. Okay? Not a congressperson. I'm not going for it anymore. We're just going to refer to her as Marjorie Trailer Park Greene from this point on. Jewish space lasers. How about that? How about the Mexican president that's also Jewish? How do you guys think the white trash MAGA voter is going to react to multiple conspiracy theories being condensed down into a female Mexican Jewish president? This might be the end of MAGA. Their heads may explode. Mexican Jewish space lasers, guys. That's where that one's gonna go. And it's a woman. Oh my God. I don't even know much about her. I don't even know that much about her. I know that she's the same as in the same party as the person before. I know a little bit about her policies. That's it. But I can tell you this: the Mexicans couldn't have picked a bigger trigger than a Mexican Jewish woman for president. Next thing you know, the Republicans are going to be talking about there's Jews coming across the border. The Jews, they're coming for the TikTok. We were against the TikTok, but then we weren't against the TikTok. Now we're for the TikTok, but we're also against the TikTok because we're against the Jews, but we're also for Israel. But we also think they're trying to replace the white man. They're sending the Mexican Jews across the border. My boss is Jewish. I was asking him. I was like, you guys think, do they wear the yarmulke and then the sombrero over the top of the yarmulke? Is that acceptable? He said it was. I also asked him if I could use his space laser. He said I have to ask his mom. What a genie. What a crone. Oh, man. That shit was just... I don't know. I don't know anymore. With Donald Trump being convicted of all these felonies and given these interviews now, they've changed my whole world. Trying to make me feel empathy for fucking Donald Trump. It's not happening. Here, this is the video I think I wanted to pull up. So let's start here. Let's get me off of here. No one's here to listen to me talk. Here we go. This is the one I wanted to
Kevin
watch.
Kiley supports a national abortion ban.
Oh, yeah, fuck Kevin Kiley.
In his 1 year in Congress,
so you guys know,
he voted to support a ban on abortions for members of the U.S. military.
Fuck Kevin Kiley. We're
worked
watching
with
this.
extremists in Congress to pass a bill
Also,
to restrict
Kevin
women from
Kiley.
seeking reproductive care, and pushed abortion misinformation to vulnerable college students. Kiley will...
Not to mention, Kevin Kiley, kind of a weak-ass name. Also, Kevin Kiley looks like a goddamn serial killer.
Take away women's medical choices. Kevin Kiley is bad.
As one of my employees said about Tom Brady, he's got dead eyes and he's kind of grapey. You know what I'm saying? Just, that's all I'm saying. Allegedly. Okay? Allegedly.
For women, Kevin Kiley is wrong for California District 3.
Damn right. All right, we had to play that whole one. Oh, damn
Move
it.
with Optimum
Fuck
or pay the
Optimum.
price. Take fast, reliable internet with you.
I'm not sure the public would stand for
Okay,
it.
here we go. Okay, here we go. This is Donald Trump in his softball interview. I'm going to mix up some sports analogies. It's a softball interview, and he fumbles it.
I'm
Yeah,
not
get
sure the
triggered.
public would stand for it.
What up, Mike?
With a,
You tried house arrest or
I think it would be tough for the public to take. You know, at a certain point, there's a
Hate
breaking
crazy
point.
nights.
Donald Trump, after being convicted, gave what I believe is his worst interview in history. I have
And that's
never
saying
seen
something.
an interview this disastrous. The guy whose show I was recently on, Will Cain, he was one of the people interviewing Trump. It's pathetic. It is a pathetic ground-nosing interview.
I love
Trump
watching these
denied
guys.
ever saying
All the
lock up Hillary.
leftist YouTube guys, all of
What?
us are like, yes!
What?
This is our
Trump is
time!
constantly talking. He said to her on the debate stage, "You'll be in jail if I'm president."
Yeah.
But he denies ever having said lock her up. The audacity, the gall. Listen to this.
I want to follow up on what Rachel asked you, though, because I hear you struggling with it. I hear you
Yeah.
say it's a tough question, a bit unsure. You famously said, regarding Hillary Clinton, lock her up. You declined to do that as president.
I beat her. It's easier when you win. And they all said lock her up. And I felt, and I could have done it, but I felt it would have been a terrible thing. And then
And you like how he said that? They also said lock her up. Like, his ass... This is the craziest thing about Trump and Trump supporters, though, is he will say this shit right here, and people will be like, no one, he never said it. The crowd chanted it, but Donald Trump never said it. Like, it is weird.
then this happened
It
to
is
me.
fucking weird.
And so I may feel differently about it. I can't tell you. I can.
Yeah,
I'm
Hillary
not sure
won
I
the
can answer
popular
the
vote.
question. Hillary Clinton, I didn't say lock her up, but the people would all say lock her
See
up, lock
that
her
shit?
up. Okay.
See?
Then we won. And I said pretty openly, I say, all right, come on, just relax. Let's go. We got to make our country great.
Yeah.
And it would have been, think of it. You lock up the wife of a president of the United
If they
States.
want to lock you up over a
He's like, look, she was a really good friend of mine. And though I've convinced all these other people that I am not a politician, I have a lot of friends that are politicians. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's like, also, she had the dirt on me on Epstein's Island, so couldn't lock her up.
$130,000 of an accounting thing, and she
Perfectly,
actually,
and a perfectly stated accounting.
Now, before we get to Trump's denials of ever having said lock her up, Fox News has all the money in the world. What is wrong with the audio? I don't know if you guys can tell. There is
Dude,
background noise.
I love
There's
the,
some kind of hum. And
Yeah.
the interviewers seem to be
Yeah, what is up with this interview? Something that Chicago is saying about her not being arrested. You like how people now are one of the memes that's going around. I see all the good memes. One of the Trump memes that's gone around is 72 years he was never arrested for anything. And then last year he got 91 felonies. First of all, yeah, that's literally how it works with the 91 felonies thing. I mean, most people don't get 91 felonies, but yeah, you know, they just kind of pop up. It's not like, you know, not like fucking you get like a lead up to your felonies. There's no pregame before the felonies. I guess you could lead up to it with some misdemeanors, work your way up to the felonies, I guess. If you want to work your way through the criminal farm system, you could start with like some jaywalking, some like petty theft, then work your way up. But Donald Trump went straight for 91 felonies. I know that that's surprising, but that's only surprising to people that don't know that he's been in the courts his entire fucking life. His whole life, he has been in the court system, fighting lawsuits, suing other people, not paying people, going bankrupt. This is not new. This is the cognitive dissonance that is so prevalent in the Trump cult. Is they're like, this poor man, all he ever did was love his family and play golf. Did you know he didn't take a paycheck? He didn't take a paycheck. Whole time. And then all of a sudden, they gave him 91 felonies. Like, I don't think that they understand reality. I don't, you would think a lot more of the MAGA supporters would understand the court system since they've all spent a bit of time dealing with the court system. But it is the weirdest shit to act like Donald Trump has never seen the inside of a court. I don't know what an indictment is. I've never even heard of an indictment. Like, his supporters are just fucking... I don't understand how you could possibly believe this shit the dude's saying.
There is background noise. There's some kind of hum. And the interviewers seem to be off mic. Like, how does Fox News, with the amount of money they have, they can't get an interview with a former president properly mic'd up?
He gets good.
Now,
quit talking.
Of course,
Sorry, Mike.
Of course, as I'm sure you know, Trump numerous times
Senator
has
Scott.
talked about locking up Hillary. Lock her up is right. All this sort of different stuff. I do want to remind you, during the 2016 debates,
here we go.
we're going to watch about a minute here. Remember this famous exchange where Trump straight up told her, if I were president, you'd be in jail.
You delete 33,000 emails, and then you acid wash them or bleach them, as you would say, a very expensive process. So we're going to get a special prosecutor.
I like that he knows the terms. He's like, I don't know what indictment means, but I know about acid washing or bleaching. You can put it in the body. You can inject it in your body. It's true. It deletes emails, and it also gets rid of COVID.
And we're going to look into it because you know what? People have been... Their lives have been destroyed for doing 1/5 of what you've done. And it's a disgrace. And honestly, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Secretary Clinton, I want to follow up on that. I'm going to let you talk about email.
Because everything he just said is absolutely false, but I'm not surprised. In the first debate,
and the audience needs to calm down here.
I told people that it would be
The audience
impossible
needs
to
to
be
calm down.
fact-checking Donald all the time. I'd never get to talk about anything I want to do and how we're going to really make lives better for people. So, once again, go to HillaryClinton.com. We have literally Trump. You can fact check him in real time.
Oh, you can fact check him.
Last time
I
at the first
missed
debate,
that.
we had millions of
You can
people
fact check him.
fact checking. So I expect we'll have millions more fact checking because, you know, it's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Harder
There it is.
see that as anything other
There
than
it
lock up
is.
Hillary. And of course, if you want that exact
up,
language,
Dirk?
Donald Trump said it repeatedly. Here is just
He
one
loves
example.
bleach.
Remember this?
What is up with the bleach?
I'll tell you something, though. It's very lock them up. You should lock them up. Lock up the Bidens. Lock up Hillary.
Hello, I'm David Miliband, President and CEO of the
David.
International Rescue Committee. Our humanitarian focus.
David, we can't rescue
Lock
people
up
right
Hillary.
now.
I mean,
we'll,
listen,
we'll
we all
rescue
know
people in
he's
a
said it
minute,
time
David.
and time again, and it is yet another instance of extreme tendencies of these dictatorial authoritarian types. They will just lie. It's one of the defining characteristics of fascism.
And people
they tell
will
you
just believe
you
them.
can't believe what you think you saw. You can't believe what you think you heard. I will tell you how to really interpret what you think you heard. And Trump just saying, nah, I never said lock her up. Trump on the possibility of arrests or house arrest or jail time, he suggests the public would hit a breaking point and wouldn't stand for it. Of course, alluding to violence if he were to get prison time.
But so that could happen. I don't know that the public would stand it. You know, I'm not sure the public would stand for it.
Nathan. Tried house arrest her.
I think it would be tough for the public to take. You know, at a certain point, there's a breaking point.
So alluding to the public would break. It would be a breaking point if they tried to imprison me. And then later, when the same topic came up, if you're not watching this.
Yeah, me and a friend were talking about this the other day. This is the funniest part about this is when people talk about civil war, and they're like, it's going to be Republicans versus liberals and all that bullshit. People, I don't think they understand who really actually knows how to commit violence and who is actually capable of committing crimes like murder and such. Those are called criminals. And just want you guys to know that in a potential left versus right civil war, the person who's going to win is criminals. Because I grew up around gangs. I grew up around gang violence. And I'm going to tell you this, that there is no one that's going to be more excited than a bunch of people getting fucking lawless than gangs. If you think you're going to be like, yeah, we're going to fuck them up, and then the East Side Crips are going to come out and be like, yeah, let's join the Republicans. Or the liberals. That's not what's going to fucking happen. You guys think that the border is bad now? Because that's what the Republicans think, right? There's a border crisis. The Mexican Jews are coming across. They're bringing Hondurans in military gear. They're wearing boots. They've got six-pack abs. They're coming across the border right now. What the fuck do you think would happen if the fucking country went into a civil war? How open do you think the borders would be then? Actual terrorists would be coming across the border. Jesus Christ, these people do not think. I was going to say think things through, but I stopped at think. I think they just don't think. Holy fuck.
You'll not see a critical part. They asked Trump again about the possibility of prison time. There's the
all our founding fathers were criminals.
Edit.
God damn it, Chicago! I should have known it.
Like it's
I should have seen that one coming.
But there's a very obvious edit where Trump says, "I'm okay with it," like if he has to go to prison, and there's an insanely abrupt cut, which we're left to speculate about, which I can only assume is Trump saying something so inflammatory that they were like, "We're going to cut that out." Take a look at
it. When it comes to the legal maze that you're still facing. And the judge could decide to say, hey, house arrest or even jail. How do you face what that could look like?
I'm okay with it. I saw one of my lawyers the other day.
And there's the cut. I'm okay with it. And then it cuts. The room tone sounds different. It's very obvious some amount of time has gone by. What was in those seconds that were cut? I don't know. Trump then says that more dangerous than Putin are Americans who don't support him.
What?
Think about
that. What the fuck?
Think about what it means for the guy who...
That's like that Tucker Carlson shit where he said, what did he say? He said, anybody that defends this verdict is a threat to you and your family. How many of y'all want to see Jon Stewart just whoop Tucker Carlson's ass? Like, I would 100% put money because, you know, John's not a big guy, but he's squirrely. And also... 1,000% Tucker Carlson can't fight. Okay. So I would 100% put, I put $5,000 on my boy Jon Stewart to whoop Tucker Carlson's ass. And I think that's what needs to happen to help Tucker Wright have a come to Jesus moment, a get right moment. I think Jon Stewart already started that ass whooping about 20, 30 years ago on Crossfire. And I think it's about goddamn time that Jon Stewart just finished it off. Help Tucker Carlson get some goddamn sense.
Who wants to be president to say,
what up, Bucket?
An adversarial foreign
what up,
leader,
Alan?
Not the enemy. Americans who don't support me are the enemy. Your fellow Americans are the enemy, not Putin.
Jesus
They're deranged. You know, I talk about the enemy on the outside and the enemy from within. So you have Russia, you have China. But if you have a smart president, you always handle him. Quite easily, actually. We have a lot of advantages. But the enemy from within, they are doing damage to this country. It's
not right about us having a lot of advantages.
The enemy from within.
Quite easily?
The people who just won't lay down and support Trump, they are really the people you have to watch out for. And Trump even doubling down on this, telling the poorly mic'd Fox and Friends crew.
Poorly mic'd.
China
he just
and
keeps
Russia.
pointing out the poorly mic'd. This is one of those things that just like boggles my mind. If Joe Biden came out and said that all of these people that aren't supporting him, every one of them are pieces of shit and like they're all terrible people, like people would lose their damn mind. Like just put Joe Biden in Donald Trump's shoes. If he said something that even alluded to committing acts of violence against Trump supporters, people would be losing their goddamn mind. And yet he can just sit there and say this shit. And people like don't seem to see anything wrong with this. That's fucking nuts.
Russia aren't the problem. The problem is inside the country.
People don't want to be impeached. They don't want to be indicted by these scoundrels.
Yeah, that's true.
Who
That's
are much
by anybody,
more
actually.
evil than people. I'm telling you, China and Russia.
Yeah,
they're
Tucker
not the
hates
problem.
Trump.
We have a problem from within that's really bad. So
China's view of yesterday.
The key to really good
Hold on, I gotta
government,
let the
where we
video
had like
play.
Lighthizer and so.
Your neighbors could be your family. They might be your friends, your coworkers. They're
Wow.
voting Biden. They are the real.
See, this is like some communist shit. This is like they're the commies. Like the Red Scare. It's the Orange Scare. I guess that would go the other way. You're looking around your family, you're like, oh shit, which one of you is a Trump supporter? I got 52 names!
Enemy. Spoken like a true authoritarian dictator
Holy
wannabe.
shit. Yeah, it's
Now,
McCarthyism,
the topic of
exactly.
Deportation came up during.
I must say this too, since I see there's quite a few of you in the chat right now. Donald Trump, once again, was fucking taught politics by McCarthy's protege. The term fake news comes from McCarthy's protege. You can't make this shit up. We're making jokes about McCarthyism. Donald Trump was literally taught by McCarthy's protege. And yet fucking people are like, I don't know where any of this is coming from. I've got an idea.
Worst interview in history. And it's a completely unintelligible thing from Trump where he says, I'm going to do
always
the big
projection.
deportation.
Dark. Always.
And listen,
Yeah, his
even though
name's
I
like
can't
something
understand everything Trump's saying
Con?
here, it's sounding really
Probably
scary.
Con. Sounds
now
about
I'm going
right.
to do the
It's
big
during the Cold War,
deportation.
after the Cold
The
War.
biggest ever. Eisenhower did the biggest.
Huge.
This will be bigger. But it's a very tough thing. What they've done to our country is unthinkable, that they could do this. And so many other things. I mean, going to New York, the kids can't have Little League games anymore. It sounds so trivial, right?
Why?
Because the migrants are living in the fields.
I can't right now. There's no more Little League. He's like reaching now. He's just trying to find any reason to make you upset. He's ran out of all the other things he could talk about, and he has literally gotten to the point where he's like, you sucker, it's being taken over. That's right, the immigrants come in, they take over your kids' youth soccer field. There's no more. And I'm not saying, I know there's just like some conservatives right now going, they're in the fields. They probably do have some point of view where immigrants are staying on fields in tents or something. And I don't even know if that's true. Please don't quote me on that. I'm just saying, I'm willing to give you that may be happening. But I guarantee it didn't end the Little League season. They didn't just stop doing Little League baseball because they're using the fields. Does he know that there's other fucking baseball fields? It's not every field in New York is taken up with immigrants. Like, do you know what the fuck that would look like? This is fear of the other. At least he hasn't found out about the Jewish Mexican president, so he hasn't started calling them Jews yet.
I like the host is like, they can't have Little League games. Why? I haven't heard of that.
Play around the tent.
How can you implement deportations, and do you think the public will have the appetite, the stomach for watching deportations on their television screen?
Well,
I think that guy's name was Roy Cohn.
So great and so
was
tough.
the protege of
Because, you know, the
McCarthy
radical left
that
is going
taught
to start
Trump.
saying, oh, look, so you'll get rid of 10 really bad ones. And one, you know, beautiful mother who they think is guilty of something, and maybe she is, maybe. And it'll become a story.
I love that. You know, 10% of the people we get rid of will be absolutely innocent, or we don't know whether they did anything wrong. Maybe she did something, maybe she didn't. And the liberals are going to get all worked up about 10% of the people we deport just being absolutely not a problem whatsoever. Wow. And then finally, Trump.
Well, and also I want to point out something. When he talks about immigrants, he literally talks about 90% of them being bad people. That's the mind-blowing part about Donald Trump talking about shit like this, is that he goes straight to 9 out of 10 immigrants that come across the border are bad people. The statistics don't bear that out. Americans commit more crimes than immigrants by 2 times. 2 times. Immigrants have every reason not to commit crimes. And Republicans want to share 1, 2, 3 stories of an immigrant doing something like assaulting a police officer or stealing from stores or, the Laken Riley thing. And I'm not saying any of those things are not bad things. Those are bad things. But this idea that it is just happening everywhere. I've said this before. If it was happening everywhere, it would be non-stop immigrant commits crime news stories 24/7 on Fox News. It would never stop. You would see nothing but the stories of immigrants causing chaos and committing crimes. And the reason you don't see that is because literally 90% of migrants aren't bad people. They aren't bad people. It's like the fucking statistics are the exact opposite of what he's saying.
Bringing out the greatest hits.
Roy Cohn.
If
Thank
Biden
you, Cron.
wins,
yeah, Roy Cohn.
We're gonna have a 1929 style depression.
It's just like
Will any of the Fox and Friends?
It's too weird that the guy's last name is Crone. I'm like, am I fucking this up? Could it possibly be that the dude's last name is actually Con? No, it
Hosts have the testicular or ovarian fortitude to say, but Mr. President, sir,
yeah, he wants to.
You predicted that in 2020 and it didn't happen. Or will they shut their mouths and nod along?
And if I didn't throw money at COVID, we would have had a depression like in 1929. And if I don't win, you're going to have a depression.
Why did we have
like
inflation? Why did we have inflation?
You know, one of the I'll
just
at
least
Scott,
admit to that portion.
One of the greatest analysts on Wall Street considered maybe.
Anyway, so that didn't happen. Predicted it in 2020.
Christ.
All-time high after all-time high. I believe the most ridiculous interview I've seen Trump give. Let me know what you think. Let's hear from a sponsor or two. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube at YouTube.
That was just, like I said, it's such a weird interview. Everything, all the energy after this with Trump and his supporters and his Freedom Caucus, it's all been really weird energy after this. It's a lot of sad sack. I don't know if it's an attempt to garner empathy of some sort or, if they're trying to humanize the dude. Somebody sent me a clip of him, like, shaking hands and saying hi to people. I'm like, yeah, do I think that he's never said something nice to somebody ever in his life? Do I think he's never shook a hand? Do I think that he's never, shown appreciation to his supporters? Of course he has. He's a narcissist. He loves to be told he's amazing. He'll shake anybody's hand that fucking tells him he's awesome. Like, yeah, I've said this before. Do you think, Hitler never made a joke? Hitler never passed gas and someone laughed? Of course. Yeah, even fucked up people say funny shit every once in a while or shake somebody's hand. Sure, Hitler's mom thought he was a pretty good dude until he fucking went and did some crazy stuff. Very low energy, MAGA. Very low energy. Yeah, sympathy vote. That's what I'm wondering about, Chicago. Are they going for the sympathy vote now? I want to watch this video. I don't know if you guys saw this one, but Adam Mockler has a video that's called "I Was in the Trump RV That Crashed." I don't know if Adam Mockler just got me on the clickbait or if Adam Mockler was actually in this fucking video. But I thought the funniest part about this story was the headline was something like, Trump supporters with Trump bus covered in Trump stickers filled with Trump merchandise crash into signs and are now homeless. If there is no better example of Trump supporters in this economy, I don't know what it is. But a Trump supporter in a bus filled with Trump merchandise crashing his Trump bus and becoming homeless, I think is some kind of moral to how Trump supporters have gone broke in this economy. I think there's a lesson to be learned. So anyways, let's watch this shit.
Story for you guys today. So yesterday we got reports that a Donald Trump themed RV,
man.
an RV with Donald Trump signs and posters plastered all over it, crashed on its way to a rally in Staten Island, New York. And the wild part is, I have been on this bus.
Oh, he was okay. That was clickbait. That was clickbait, Adam. Trust G. Oh, I've seen this bus. It's so crazy. I'm like a Trump supporter historian at this point. I need to get some kind of job. There's a lot of people out there with a lot of expertise on shit that actually matters, like Israel or the Palestinian people or Egypt or fucking, like the Persians. There's people out there with like tons of knowledge. And I'm just sitting over here. I'm a professional scholar on Trump supporters. I don't know that I need to admit that. I think that maybe I need to keep that inside. After this is all over, guys, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If this shit all just like dies down, I think I'm just going to get a name change. I might actually go through a transition my damn self. And you guys will no longer know who the fuck I am because I'm not sure that I want anybody to know that I know this much about crazy-ass Trump supporters. The fact that I know about Edward the debt collector and the Trump bus, it's just too much. I can't admit this in public.
New York. And the wild part is, I have been on this bus multiple times. I've seen it at many different Trump rallies. I've talked to the person who owns it. I've interviewed him on camera, and I've done multiple debates in front of this Trump RV. So I have some really interesting footage for you guys. But first, let's take a look at some of the photos of this nasty collision that the RV got into. I mean, it's really actually pretty bad.
Holy Christ.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have the Trump law and order anymore. Kind of doesn't make sense.
Nothing makes sense, bro.
Trump man.
None of it makes sense.
This article reads, photos of the crash vehicle went viral and show that the side of the RV was ripped open from the collision. The smash happened in Staten Island, New York, just hours before a rally in support of Trump, with the bus thought to be en route to the event. There are signs on the RV saying, "Trust Jesus," saying...
Jesus took the wheel, dog. Jesus said, I gotta do something about this shit. Jesus straight up grabbed that wheel and said, straight into the post. Oh, fuck. He's like, these people are ruining my name. He just ran that. And let me say this. This is another one that people keep doing. People were just talking about the Bronx rally, which was hilarious. There's this Trump supporter that was like, well, you don't think Donald Trump has supporters? Look at this picture. And it's the Midas Touch debunked it. It's a picture from Obama's rally in St. Louis. But you know Trump supporters don't care, right? Like, they just see that picture and they're just like, hell yeah, that's us right there. They could, like, literally be there. They could have been at the Bronx rally, known that there wasn't that many fucking people. And they'd still be like, dude, that's crazy. Look at how many people were there. But the saddest part about all that shit is even with the people that were there were people there. A lot of them are the same fucking people. It's the same people that go to Florida. It's the same people that go to New Jersey. It's the same people that were in the Bronx. It's the dude with the bus. It's the black dude that's selling t-shirts. It's fucking Fellatio blowing his little shitty rap crew. All of these people just go to the same fucking places over and over with Donald Trump, and they claim that they don't have any money in this economy. I got a fucking idea. You should get a job. Imagine if instead of going to fucking Trump rallies, you had a job. You might be doing better in this economy. That's crazy.
Women for Trump, and the one I find most ironic, Law and
Trump
Order,
groupies.
which, as that guy said, they should probably take down after Donald Trump was convicted on all 34 felony counts. But before I play this footage, I just want to say, this guy was incredibly hard to get through to. He wouldn't even engage with some of my hypotheticals, but I do hope the cat was okay. There was a cat on the RV that you'll see in this video, and I hope the cat made it out okay. Then I play a debate I had with one of Trump's biggest supporters. He's been to over 70 different rallies, and we had this debate standing right in front of the Trump RV that just crashed. So it's really interesting how everything tied together, but without further ado, here are the conversations. What do you think about Trump saying he wants to be a dictator day one?
Jesus, look at
For
that.
a minute, yes.
Yeah.
For a minute, yes.
You okay with that?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
For a minute.
For a minute?
For a minute.
Like, what would this dude say if Biden said that? Look at this shit, too. Make liberals cry again. How much is this fucking guy crying right now? How much is this guy crying again? This is what you fucking get. This is karma. I'm not even fucking religious, and I'm willing to bet that Jesus was like, you know what? You know what? I'm running this fucking bus into this post. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers, bro. Make liberals cry again. There has been nothing but sad sack fucking tears for the last week from a bunch of people that own literal fucking sweatshirts that say make liberals cry again. It's karma. It's fucking karma.
What do you want to see him do when he's a dictator day one?
The same charges they put on Biden.
I'm praying for the cat myself.
What do you think about Trump saying that he should have absolute
Start a GoFundMe
immunity from
for the
anything
cat.
that he does during his presidency?
Yeah, I would have to think there's a reason why he's asked for absolute immunity, because from his perspective, there's things that most people don't realize.
Yeah.
So I would think he's right.
Would you apply the same standard to Joe Biden, that Joe Biden should have immunity during his presidency?
Joe Biden should have immunity too, but if he's actually doing criminal acts and he's letting his son get away with it, no.
No?
Wait.
I don't know any criminal acts that Trump is actually doing.
What?
Yeah, well, he's been...
Oh, the cat.
Trump-themed RV. An RV with Donald Trump signs and posters plastered all over it crashed on its way to a rally in Staten.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
That cat just ruined the
Trump
stream.
saying that he should have absolute immunity from any... Yeah.
So I would think he's right.
Would you apply the same standard to Joe Biden, that Joe...
I don't know any criminal acts that Trump is actually doing.
Yeah, well, he's been...
Well, it's true, ain't it?
Oh, yeah, but he's been charged. He's been charged with over... what's the cat's name?
That's Missy.
That cat looks aggro.
So there's a phone call of Trump. Have you heard the phone call where Trump calls Brad
cat's on
Raffensperger and he says, I need you to find me 11,000 votes?
I did hear that.
What did you think about that?
I did hear that because I really feel that the votes were probably there and they just finagled the votes.
So you think Trump was okay with what he was doing? That was okay?
Absolutely. He knew he was being recorded.
Interesting. So if it came out, like in an alternate reality, if there was zero election fraud and we find out that Trump knew there was no election fraud and he still made that phone call, would that be bad?
No, because there was a lot of election fraud. From my understanding, there's a lot of election fraud. I've been throughout the country, been to hundreds of rallies throughout America, even with Bernie. You know, I went to Trump rally.
Wait. How does any of that make sense, though? This is the same thing Trump supporters say. They go, you think Joe Biden got 81 million votes? You think that's true? Do you think that's true? I go, well, yeah, I do think that's true because I trust in our electoral system and I trust in the fact that fucking literally Donald Trump went through our electoral system with a fine-tooth comb. If you want to give Trump any credit at all about any of this shit, you could at least say, hey, you know what? He verified that the election system is pretty fucking good. I mean, we'll give him that. The dude, he second, third, fourth partied it, and it came back with, actually, this shit's cleaner than we thought it was. We thought there was more fraud. And Trump supporters say this shit. They go, do you think, you don't think that Trump had more votes than Joe Biden? They go, well, no, I don't, because literally he didn't. They go, do you think that the crime's gone down? Yeah, I think the statistics show that crime's gone down. Look around you. And then I look around me and I'm like, actually, there's like no crime in my town. So I guess from my point of view, yeah, shit looks great, actually. And they're like, no, but where I live, it's crazy. This is what this dude's doing here. I go to rallies all over the place. I can tell you there's fraud. Do you know people committing fraud? Did you see people committing fraud? Did you commit fraud, sir? Because it's always projection.
Rallies when I was a Bernie supporter. Yeah. I seen hundreds of thousands of people come out. I was offered money.
Exactly,
and told
Nick. That's what I'm saying.
If you go to touring for Hillary, it would give you $50. Like, didn't make any sense to me. Most of the public doesn't realize that she was paying people to come to her rallies.
But the thing with Trump is he was making claims of widespread, unprecedented voter fraud that's never been seen before in the United States. And people around him told him that wasn't true. So like Mike Pence said that it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Bill Barr said it didn't happen.
Right?
He hired a team of investigators to investigate election fraud, and when they said that there was no fraud, he fired them, and he kept pushing the lie.
Yep.
So it feels like almost like there was no election fraud, and Donald Trump still made that phone call and was trying to pressure Raffensperger, right?
Absolutely, man. He does pressure a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And the truth will come out.
Yeah.
He's been right about everything.
Yeah.
At least this dude admits
wrong,
it.
he's right
At least he admits it.
So I feel he's 100% right about this election fraud.
Do you think the 2020 election was
It's
stolen?
Edward the debt collector.
What evidence do you have?
I was an elected official and I was there on the scene. Look, I saw with my own eyes the videos everybody else saw. Trump.
He saw the edited videos that Rudy Giuliani spliced up to make it look like there was fraud, that then he had to show to a judge in Georgia, that the judge in Georgia looked at and went, yeah, dude, I looked at all 16 hours of this, and it turns out your video is edited heavily to make it look like something happened that didn't happen. And then another judge looked at Rudy Giuliani and said, you're so full of fucking shit, I'm going to make you pay these two ladies all your goddamn money, because just like everybody surrounding Trump, you're a fucking criminal and you're full of shit. That guy said it the other day. He said, if you had a mafia member and you were like, this guy he's not a totally bad guy, because you know what he did? He does one thing or he does another thing. And then you said, well, hold on. Have you met his friend? No, I haven't met his friend. Well, he's also a criminal. And then you met his friend and you're like, he's also a criminal. And then you said, everybody that surrounds this person happens to be going to jail, getting disbarred, being sued for defamation and losing, which is incredibly hard to do, including entire fucking corporations. He's like, would you not look at that person and go, that guy's probably a criminal too? Yeah, that's what you do, and that's literally what they do with mafia members.
Is winning, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, magically they start stopping the voting and they count the mail-in ballots, and then by the morning everything is changed.
Democrats. I like how you guys keep stealing
all
the
these videos
things
have been debunked repeatly, not only in multiple courts with Trump-appointed judges, but Trump hired a team to forensically analyze the election. They came back saying there was no election fraud, no evidence of election fraud. Trump fired them and doubled down on the election fraud claims.
Watch the movie 2000 Mules.
I've seen the movie 2000 Mules. It's all been debunked. Everything in that movie is
literally debunked, to the point that in the Georgia case, the judge said, if you do not present evidence to me, I will hold you in contempt. And you know what the people that made 2000 Mules did? They dropped their case. They said, it's all good. Never mind. I don't want anything to do with this, because they knew their ass was about to go to prison if they even attempted to fuck around and find out with that judge. Because just like all of these people, you talk a lot of shit, you talk a lot of it, because you're full of it. Full of it.
It's been debunked multiple times.
I don't think it has not been debunked.
You realize the creator of that movie has been in jail multiple times.
Yes, he's been politically
Dino's
targeted.
trying to get you guys to answer questions
Obama
for him.
wanted him to be punished because he made the movie about Obama. No, Dinesh is a victim of the radical left.
Oh, he's a victim. He's a victim.
Why do you trust a documentary over our actual courts and elected politicians? People like Mike Pence, people like Bill Barr, people that Donald Trump trusted with his life, and you trust a documentary over them?
Those are a couple of rhinos.
Rhinos?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, Pence is a bitter disappointment.
Why didn't Trump see that when he appointed him as vice president?
Trump did a lot of things that were right. A lot of things that were great. I think his one mistake was that
One mistake? What about all the other people he fired? What about all the other people that he said he was going to fill his cabinet with the greatest, the strongest, the best? And then he fired them all, and he replaced them with his children. Because Trump supporters are so goddamn dumb that they would sit there and say, oh, yeah, well, Ivanka has all kinds of experience in this, or Don Jr. should be this, or Eric should be this. Yet Joe Biden puts actual people that have actual experience in jobs, and Trump supporters are like, that's because he's a moron. Because in Idiocracy, doing the dumbest fucking thing possible is the smartest fucking thing you can do. And that's where we're at with Trump supporters. Is this shit's idiocracy.
He trusted some of the wrong people.
I mean, he fleeced his cabinet like 8 times in a row. He had like a 92% turnover rate.
It's the machine. You go to Washington D.C. You look at that Capitol building. People try to pretend like they try to say this is a reverent place. This is a holy place. No, it's not. That's the biggest whorehouse in the world.
The Capitol building.
That is the biggest brothel in the world, and with few exceptions, everybody in there in Congress is a whore.
Except for Lauren Boebert.
Yeah.
So I can understand your disdain for the Capitol building and the people inside of it, but I think there's one day where the Capitol building should be respected, and that day is when they're certifying the results of the election, right? Yeah. So on January 6th, every 4 years...
Hold on. What is Dino asking? Dino, you are asking, what is the underlying crime? Are you talking about the underlying crime in Donald Trump's felony conviction? Would you like me to answer that for you? Because I can answer that for you if you'd like me to. Donald Trump's underlying crime, the crimes that Donald Trump was convicted of, was he falsified business records by paying hush money to his lawyer. That hush money was given to Michael Cohen, which was transferred to David Pecker. David Pecker then spent that money on Stormy Daniels. Now, that's a misdemeanor. That's just a misdemeanor. Falsifying business records. He had 34 counts of it, and he falsified those business records. That, in itself, is not a felony. You have to link that to a felony, an underlying crime. And that crime was election influence. That is a New York State crime. You can also put it on a federal level, but that one specifically is a unique to New York crime because of their issue with mafia members influencing their elections. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, Dino. Okay, Dino. Yeah, you know so much. You're a fucking idiot if you don't think that that's the crime. It's literally the crime he was charged with. I know you can't fucking read, dog. He didn't give the crime. Are you fucking dumb or are you fucking crazy? You're crazy. I just answered it, you fucking moron. Look at him. So instead of being like, actually, okay, fine, you answered it. Here's another question. This moron's like, dude, I can't even fucking read, so how am I supposed to know? You're a fucking genius, dog. You're a fucking genius. Jesus Christ, you spent 5 minutes in my chat to ask me a question. I answered your question, and you said that's not an answer. That's literally the fucking answer. He has 34 felony counts of attempting to influence an election. Jesus Christ, you're dumb. It is a New York State law. Jesus Christ. You might be one of the dumbest motherfuckers that ever came in my chat. And you sitting here talking about how people can't answer your questions, dog? You can't even read. Jesus. Fuck you. That's a high bar. What the fuck did I say, Dino? I said a misdemeanor that is linked. It has to be linked to another crime to make it a felony. It is an extremely novel way to prosecute a person. And if you wanted to have a conversation about that, we could. But you're too goddamn stupid to understand that. Because someone told you some shit, and now you're on here regurgitating that dumb shit on my channel. Because you don't know shit about what you're talking about. The jury did have to agree. Once again, dude, everything you're saying is the same fucking bullshit that everybody regurgitates. I know all your talking points because I've already heard them 75 fucking times, and every one of them is fucking wrong. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
The vice president certifies the results of an election.
I literally read
now, when
it.
you have people breaking into the Capitol building trying to stop that certification from happening, isn't that anti-democratic?
Oh, you mean when the FBI plants were breaking into the Capitol building and Antifa were among them wearing MAGA hats? I was there, and there was no plot to overthrow the government. Nobody was discussing that.
What's the goal of these people that marched from the ellipse to the Capitol on the exact date and the exact time that they're certifying the election results? So what was the goal?
It was the same goal the previous 2 times. We had speeches outside of the the White House in November and in December.
Same
then
goal.
We marched the Great Mall 2 miles.
Dino's about to tell us that they were
the
there
Capitol,
to peacefully
more speeches.
protest.
We marched around to the Supreme
Dino's
Court,
about to tell
expressed
us that
ourselves
they
there,
were
and then we
allowed
went
in
out
the
and had
building.
dinner and had a few drinks and partied.
Yeah.
That's what was supposed to happen.
In between
Hold on.
chanting.
Hold on. Now Dino's like, yeah, those were the charges, but actually, so now that you said it's a novel crime, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Even if a crime is novel, which just literally means that it's not prosecuted very often, that's all it means, is it still a crime, Dino? If there is a law on the books that you're not allowed to shit in your hand and wipe it in your mouth, and then you do that, but no one ever does it, just Dino. Just Dino likes to eat shit. Did you still commit a crime? Yes, you did, you dumb motherfucker. Because just because the rest of the world isn't as dumb as you or Donald Trump, doesn't mean that when your dumbass or Donald Trump's dumbass does something illegal, they don't get prosecuted for it. That's literally the meaning of a novel crime. It's something that generally you would look at and go, that's not something that gets prosecuted very often, because there's not a lot of fucking morons like Donnie and fucking Dino. You might be Donald Trump, actually. They didn't make it up, you fucking moron. It's on the fucking books. You can't just make up crimes. That's not how our legal system. Do you understand that the Supreme Court has a majority of Republicans on it? Do you even fucking realize that an appellate court would appeal that verdict and overturn it if the law didn't fucking exist? No, you don't, because you're too fucking stupid to understand how the judicial system works. It's understandable. You're a fucking moron with like a 4th grade education that listens to fucking like Dave Smith or Dave Rubin or Jordan Peterson, and you're like, yeah, these motherfuckers are spitting. No. You're a moron, and the dude you follow is a moron, and so I understand why you follow him. It's okay. It's okay.
Hang Mike Pence, or
and who was doing
We'll
that?
see if it gets overturned.
It was
then
clearly Trump supporters. Is Ashley Babbitt FBI too?
No, Ashley Babbitt.
Dino, 100%. If it gets overturned by a Supreme Court, if it gets overturned by the appellate court, please do come back and tell me how wrong I am. Okay? That's where I'm standing on this. I will 100% sit up here and say, you're right, I was wrong, Dino. They did it wrong. Something that you can't do. Something you can't do. Because MAGA's a fucking cult. Because every one of you is sucking that little orange mushroom because you're so entrenched in your bullshit ass fake reality beliefs that you can't back down anymore. Because your friends don't like you anymore, your family left you, your coworkers hate you, and all you got left is the cult leader. Just orange, bad built, butch body, orange skin, Oompa Loompa Donald Trump. And it's really sad. I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a libertarian. I don't care if you're progressive. I don't give a fuck what you are. What you are is a cult member. You a cult member, dog. It doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you on. You think cult members just come in one size? No. Cult members are mostly picked out on the ability to be aggressively fucking gullible. And that's what you are. You aggressively gullible. Oh, because I like fighting with people, savage. I told you guys, I'm going to take over the Libertarian Convention. After seeing those motherfuckers fighting, I was like, I'm coming. I want to join the Libertarian Convention to just like watch everybody argue.
But is the Crispus Attucks of the new American Revolution.
Now
the
you're
first
a cult
blood.
member, dog.
She was murdered.
You're a cult member.
She was murdered.
Breaking into the Capitol building. I thought you guys are
Go
all about
to Russia,
self-defense,
motherfucker.
right?
Look,
Go to
look
Russia.
at the videos. An unarmed woman with her hands on a flagpole. The cop comes behind her and shoots her from behind.
An unarmed woman breaking through a window that senators were
what?
behind. Senators were behind.
Is this
I'll
Dino?
I'll tell you what happened. Chuck Schumer grabbed a hold of that cop and probably.
All right,
and he said,
I'll ignore
we
him.
need blood on the floor. Go up there and kill somebody.
Schumer wanted Ashley Babbitt dead.
I think the
He didn't
Democrats
vote,
needed blood
Savage.
on the floor,
He didn't
and
vote.
somebody ordered that cop to go up there and kill somebody to get blood on the floor. I've been to a lot of Trump rallies.
So
yeah, 67.
Oh wow, not that many.
I've had the FBI at my house twice.
67.
For what?
They wanted to know why I go to so many Trump rallies.
Interesting. Was this after January 6th?
Sure.
Yes, it was. Of course, it was.
Yeah.
Not January 6th?
Yes, and I did not go into the Capitol
Oh,
building.
is that why they
the
went?
FBI came to your house?
I didn't do
Yes.
anything wrong. But not only that, I've been audited now by the IR.
This is Trump supporter logic right here. The FBI is coming after me because I've been to a bunch of Trump rallies. Oh yeah, were you at January 6th? Well, yeah. No shit. The FBI came to talk to you after you were in a place where people were committing literal fucking treason. If I happened to be around a spot where somebody murdered another motherfucker and the cops showed up at my house, I would not be all that surprised that the police wanted to talk to me. Hey, what's up, Jen? Say to your cousin in the car ride home yesterday saying, did you see Robert fucking De Niro? Like, really? Yeah. Jesus Christ. It's insane. They're insane. He might be the shaman. You guys might be right. He might be the shaman. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 10,000 so I can talk more shit to people like Dino because it's super fun. For those of y'all that you're new here, hey, I grew up in a fucking trailer park in the ghetto. There's not a lot of liberal or left-leaning people like me in this world. And Trump supporters, they think they come into my chat and they're going to talk to me like they talk to people usually. But I don't handle that shit that way. I handle this shit the way I did it the way I grew up. So you come on my chat, you want to talk shit, we talk shit. Let's go. Let's go. Internal monologue. Here's this one. Let's watch this one for because me and this guy, we are spiritual brothers. Me and Straight Facts No Chaser, we might be brothers from another mother. I'm just gonna say that right now because this dude is I love this dude. Support this dude. I appreciate it.
Welcome back, class, to another episode of Trump Whisperer, translating stupid. Today
we need him for
travel
Dino
to
right
Clayton,
now.
To a small
We need him for
town we like
Dino
to
right
call
now.
ER, or as they would say, It stands for everything's rigged.
Yeah, Trump
We're about
being
to listen
fucking
to their
compared
leader,
to
their Lord and
Jesus.
Savior.
How
He goes by
fucking crazy do you have to
Orange
be?
Genius. Yeah, he spells genius with a J. It lets you know he's the smart one. And don't look him in the eye. The side effects are very much like the drug commercial. At the very end, may cause anal bleeding. Yeah, that may be you. So don't look him in the eye. And make sure your imaginary stupid goggles are on and tight. Before we get to exposing the dipshittery, I'm gonna need y'all to do the customary
Welcome to the
things that
chat,
everybody
Dino.
asks for that's on this
Get your
chat.
ass handed to you.
Go ahead and subscribe to your boy. Leave a comment and like and let other motherfuckers know that we over here doing things. Be respectful for what I do. I spend a lot of time trying to make y'all laugh. It's a lot
Damn
of pain
right he
in this.
does.
Not really. I laugh my ass off, but still a lot of work in this. I be having fake tears, at least real ones that come from fake places. I
See,
don't
this
know
dude's
exactly how it
practically
happens, but
me.
You just talk shit. Sometimes you get too happy. It's tears of joy at the same time while you're acting like you're crying. It's like menopause. I call it cry pause. All I do is every once in a while just start crying for no damn reason. Getting hot flashes and shit just because I'm making fun of people. It's an enjoyable pain. You get my drift. Now what the fuck?
I get that drift.
Oh yeah,
100% I get that drift.
Let's get back to exposing this shit. Enough of my rambling. This shit starting to make my booty itch.
This was a disgrace.
Dino, you too dumb, dog. I got nothing for it. I can't help you. The type of fucking dumb shit. This is Dino right here.
Disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This is a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
That's sad sack
They know what
energy,
happened
dog.
here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing.
I used
We
the
didn't do
keyword
anything wrong.
Soros,
A very innocent
rigged.
man.
Gotta use the words
It's
to
okay.
activate
I'm
the
fighting
sheep.
For our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged.
Fighting
right
for the
now. This was
Constitution
done
that he
by
said
the
you should
Biden
rip up.
Administration.
Yep.
in order to wound or
Dude, the
hurt
angry lawyer. Yeah,
an opponent,
Chicago.
a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace.
Oh, shit.
And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win. Because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now.
Oh, yeah,
From
that's that
prisons
fear.
and from
Get that fear.
mental institutions,
Get the fear going, boys.
terrorists. And they're taking over.
Dino's getting worked up right now. Dino's jerking it so hard. Dino's like, ah!
With a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
As you just witnessed on the MAGA sheep of me, the
Christ.
orange genius with a J from
Dude,
just
I love
showed you
Todd
that
Blanche,
within
dude.
2 minutes, he
Oh,
can spew
fuck.
5 rigs. This man is trying to win an Olympic gold medal in dipshittery. Everything's rigged with this man.
Everything's
These
rigged.
people
Rigged,
believe in the
rigged,
most mundane,
rigged.
dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. If everything's rigged, when is something on the up and up? Only when
Exactly.
he wins, you don't see
Exactly.
through that. I win, it's not rigged. I lose, it's rigged.
Yep.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do now? If your baseball team don't win, it was rigged. If
Rigged.
my basketball
Yep.
team don't win, it was rigged.
Rigged.
If I don't pay my bills and they kick me out, it's rigged. If I don't
Rigged.
take responsibility for my actions, whatever happens to me, it's rigged. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Anyway, let's get
Exactly.
to the translation of the bullshit that he just spewed. With Donald J.
And that's literally my problem with this shit, dude. Is that there's zero accountability or responsibility about always putting this shit on other people. If you're just gonna always sit around and say it's somebody else's fault, it's never your fault. It's never your president's fault. It's never your Congress people's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. Then you're in a cult. Because we hold people like AOC accountable. We hold people like Joe Biden accountable. We hold people like Bob Menendez accountable. I said this to a libertarian today. I said, so Hunter Biden's going on trial today for illegally owning a gun as a felon. So as a libertarian, that must mean that you are on Hunter Biden's side. Because as a libertarian, you believe that you shouldn't even have to have a background check to have a gun. As a libertarian, you believe that a felon should be able to own a gun. And that goes for conservatives as well. Conservatives, don't forget that you don't think that there should be common sense gun laws. You don't think that Hunter Biden should be kept from having a gun. Now, on the other end of the spectrum is me. A person that believes in common sense gun laws. A person that believes that even though Hunter Biden was in a bad place and did a lot of shit in his life that caused a motherfucker to go crazy, that he should be held accountable just like everybody else. And just like Donald Trump, if he is convicted, he should be given a sentence that is paralleled with the crime that he committed. And that's me talking about a guy who lost his mom, his sister? Who was the infant that died in that car crash? It was his sister, his mom, his sister, his brother, and got addicted to crack. And yet I still feel as though he should be held accountable for owning a gun as a felon. Because that's where I stand. So conservatives and libertarians, don't forget that shit. Don't forget. You guys are on Hunter Biden's side, and you want him to get off innocent. Don't forget that shit.
Happens to me is rigged. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Anyway, let's get to the translation of the bullshit that he just spewed. What Donald J. Trump, the orange genius with a J from just said was...
Shall not be infringed,
what
right?
What the fuck are y'all thinking? Y'all know I'm guilty, but I'm not supposed to be held accountable for shit. You know the last time I was held accountable? No, I don't remember either.
Nope,
my mom and
never.
dad let me get away with shit. My mom knew I was a dipshit. But dad kept bailing me out because I was a part of his scrotum, his seed, whatever you want to call it. So I'm sitting here with a Latin judge. I keep telling y'all, they keep coming over the border, taking the jobs. This judge just took the job of some white dude. Y'all hear his name, Rachan, or some shit like that. He was conflicted, meaning that he was Latin. He's not a white man. If white people had judged me, I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in. Can't you
Right?
hear me tell you to whistle, bitch? I'm trying to give y'all the whistle. Blow the whistle, bitches. Blow the whistle. Something help. Help. That's what he's asking. Help me.
Hold on.
There's something wrong.
What do you guys think? Well, should we get a GoFundMe together to get Donald Trump a grape whistle? Should we get him a grape whistle? Because he's going to need it. Somebody needs to get that motherfucker a grape whistle.
My whiteness is not working. The power's starting to fade. I'm not feeling well. Then you see me walking all kind of dizzy and shit with my head hanging low. Yo, I don't feel good. I'm passing out of some shit. What's going on? My whiteness is supposed to help me. My riches is supposed to help me. Hell, y'all keep sending me money
I'm a
I
politician.
don't even fucking need, and I'm still going to jail, bitches. I don't get it, man. Okay, put out there that nobody goes to jail for this shit or something. Everybody say something, do something.
Non-disclosure agreements.
Stop, drop, and roll, bitches. Do
Use
something.
words they don't understand.
Mama. Jesus is still around anyway. Jesus,
and this is where we're at. This is the sad sack energy that I was just talking about. This man is translating 100% what Donald Trump and his fucking voters are doing right now. They went from talking shit to relying on what is actually a two-tier justice system, because once again, everything they fucking say is projection. Two-tier justice system for rich politicians that his ass got held accountable for, because this is another one that I fucking love that people have been sharing lately. The Dave Chappelle monologue on Saturday Night Live, where it says, Dave Chappelle goes, he got up there and he said to everybody, I know about tax loopholes because I used them. And the reason I use them is because you guys don't close them up. And they've been sharing this shit. And I'm like, and you guys wonder why he got in trouble for shit to do with covering up a payment for falsifying business records? It's almost like Donald Trump stood up in front of everybody and said, I'm a criminal and you can't touch me. And you won't touch me because you haven't yet. Just like his wife. And guess what happened? He got held accountable for the shit that he talked. Because, yeah, are there a bunch of other politicians out there that have done bad shit? 100%. Are there a bunch of other politicians that I hope this all turns into a domino effect and they get held accountable for their shit too? 100%. But it just so happens, out of all the politicians that we've mocked for being idiots, all the politicians that we've accused of being corrupt, the only one that's been stupid enough to do it, to stand up there and tell everybody that he did it, was Donald Trump. And then his supporters are too fucking stupid to realize that when they share a meme or a video of Donald Trump being given props by Dave Chappelle for telling people about he avoided his taxes and his loopholes, and how no other politician will close up those loopholes, even though he was the president for 4 fucking years. And then they all wonder, why is Donald Trump being prosecuted? It's crazy. Crazy.
Do something.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Mama! Daddy, help me. Jesus is still around anyway. Yeah, Jesus, ain't he best friends with like Abraham Lincoln or something? Come on, y'all. Come on, help me, Jesus, help me, Lord. I need to go to a black church or something. I need prayer. I need something. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Lord. Help me.
Yes, exactly, Nancy. Why would you give somebody an NDA to
I don't
exactly,
know.
Nancy?
Help me, Jesus.
Thank
Help
you
me,
for
Lord.
being a
Help me,
logical
Lord.
human being,
Help me,
Nancy.
Jesus. Buddha, somebody, anybody. The roof is on.
Oh, sorry.
fire.
Yeah, Crone.
Something,
I'll link the
y'all.
video after we get
Listen
done.
to me. I need to be president. Come on, y'all.
Exactly,
Come
Nana.
on. Who needs money? Anybody needs money. I'll give you money if you can get me out this shit. I suck it if you want. But get me out of this shit. I'm not going to look like I'm weak. No, I'm strong.
Exactly.
Daddy said I'm strong. Let me
That's
hold
what
my
Daddy
head up.
said.
I can't. It's hurting.
That's what Roy
It's hurting
Khan
my
told me to
neck
do.
muscles to keep my head is going, y'all. Y'all saw me through trial. I couldn't
It
lift
is.
my head. Y'all
It
thought I was
is.
asleep. I was
Sad
just weak.
sack
I
energy.
can't help it, man. I'm losing feeling in my big toe. Come on, y'all. Help me, Jesus. Help me, Lord. Oh, my God. I got gas. It's right here. It's in the top part of my stomach, y'all. I think I shit myself.
It's all the Big Macs, dog.
Help me, Jesus.
Oh,
Help me,
fuck.
Lord. Where is, Jesus when you need him? He said he was coming, but damn, what's taking you so long, bruh? That's what Donald Trump just said. This man is sending out every whistle, racist, xenophobic, whatever he can do to be able
100%.
to get out of this. All this pundits
Save
are out
me,
there,
motherfucker.
including
Save
legal
me.
people like Ellie Honig on CNN. Ellie Honig is being disingenuous when he says rarely anybody goes to jail with this Class C felony. Yes, they mostly get probation. But here's the thing. Let's not deal with what other cases are like, okay? Let's deal with the actual case at hand. This case had 4 people in it. 4, I tell you. That would be David Pecker. Now, he was going to go to jail, but they gave him immunity, right? Then we got Alan Weisselberg. He went to prison for it.
Yep.
Then we got Michael Cohen. He went to prison for it, 3 years. Now the 4th guy, the one who never turned state's evidence, the one who never gave you anything, the one who didn't have a fucking plea deal, this guy gets away scot-free. No, sir. How does he get probation when everybody
Smartest
in this case
motherfucker
had
alive,
jail
Nancy,
time
right?
sitting in front of their face unless they gave up evidence? You can't have plea deals get 3 years and a person who's defied it and never admitted he did anything get probation. The fuck is that?
There you go.
He knows
That's a
he's
good
being
point.
disingenuous
That's
as
a
a
good
lawyer.
point.
Anybody on these damn stations saying that shit is being disingenuous. You can't have everybody who turned in evidence, everybody who had a plea deal, they get years in prison, months in prison, immunity. And the guy who never turned up any evidence, always lied, didn't say he did anything, didn't have any kind of, oh, my bad, oh, I'm sorry. That guy gets probation. Tell me why. And when, Ellie Honig? In any case where you got everybody who broke the law, the ones who turned in evidence and said, hey, this is what I did, and the kingpin who gets arrested just gets a slap on the hand. The one who orchestrated it all gets a slap on the hand while everybody else beneath them goes to prison.
Yep.
Tell me what mafia where the head dude gets caught and everybody below him goes to jail and the head dude gets a smack on the wrist. That shit doesn't happen. So when you guys are saying they get probation, it's being disingenuous. Because in this case specifically, they all went to jail.
Okay,
or had
I'm
jail
sorry.
hanging over their head until they gave up evidence, until they gave a plea deal. So please educate yourselves. Don't listen to this bullshit. It's propaganda that they're putting out there to give you generalities. This is not a general case. This is a specific case. Quit lying to the people. Tell the truth. It shall set you free. But not for Trump. That motherfucker need to go to jail. And that's on period. Fuck all that bullshit about he's an ex-president. An ex-president should have known not to do the shit he did and continue to do it as if it's okay.
Yep.
There's no remorse.
Shouldn't have done it
And
then.
the only recourse is put his ass behind bars. Now take off your imaginary stupid goggles before you shit yourself. Let's continue.
That's my dude right there. That's straight facts, no chaser. That's straight facts, no chaser. And he is amazing. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to his channel, you should, because he is awesome. So I'm going to put that in there right there. Oh, what the fuck? No, it put me on CNN. Why did it do that?
Welcome back, class, to another
Sorry.
episode of Trump.
That's CNN. Don't go to that one. Don't go to that channel. I just sent you guys to CNN. What kind of mainstream media shill am I? Holy shit. Sorry, guys. That's straight facts, no chaser. There you go. Sorry about that. I saw a little bit of what you said, Jess, about Let's just read what your comment said there, because I want to respond to that. I disagree with the loss of rights because of having a felony, because it's the only right you lose permanently, and as long as someone is on nonviolent Second Amendment, it should still apply. So this is something that Straight Facts said in the last video that he had, and that is the law, but that doesn't mean that we can't talk about what's wrong with the law, right? Like, I'm all for 100% for common sense gun laws. I'm pro Second Amendment. I do believe that people have a right to defend their home. I do believe that people have the right to bear arms. I think that owning certain weapons is insane and out of control. I think that when it comes to something like a felon not being able to own a weapon, it has unfairly targeted marginalized communities, and that needs to be talked about. I think that there's a lot to be changed about that law, but I also respect where the law is now and understand that it should be changed. And that's why I said in the sentencing of somebody like Hunter Biden, it should be taken into account that he hasn't committed a nonviolent crime. It should be taken into account well, I don't know if they even care about that shit. Is there any empathy in the court system? Probably not. But that, he had a really rough go of it and ended up making some poor decisions. I think that they do take that kind of stuff into account. But I do support background checks. 100% support background checks. I 100% support red flag laws. And I think that whether it's left, right, center, independent, libertarian, progressive, if you broke that law, I got to stand in support of it being, held up. So, let's see. Trump should be forced to do community service to be worse in prison. 100% it would be. Like, dude, make him into an example for people. Make him into an example. Until recently, Trump has never had to be accountable for his actions. Exactly, DJ, and that's what I'm saying. Like, people talk about this. I think I Drink Wine was just saying we need to talk more about the fact that this isn't going to change people's vote. I said this the other day when the guilty verdict came through. I know that it's not going to change Trump supporters' minds. In fact, it's probably going to entrench them more because Daddy Trump is the only person they have left. Like I said, yeah, I'm not joking when I say that Trump supporters have outcasted themselves to the point that their friends don't want to talk to them anymore. They're tired of getting fucking Trump memes. They're tired of getting Trump's Jesus memes. They're tired of getting Trump's innocent memes. They're tired of every time that they hang out with them when they want to talk about basketball, football, or baseball, all they want to talk about is how Trump's getting the short end of the stick. And the same thing goes for their family members. Their family members are tired of sitting down at the table. And they say, how was your day today? And they're like, it was terrible because Donald J. Trump got accused of something that he didn't do. He didn't have sex with that woman. Donald Trump's the greatest man in the world. Why would he ever have sex with Stormy Daniels? And it's like, motherfucker, all I asked is if the mashed potatoes were fine. Okay? You guys think I'm joking when I say shit. I mean that shit. I mean, when they go to work and they're working on the fucking Frito-Lay line and the guy next to him's just like trying to hum his fucking song, he's trying to listen to his iPods and he's going, dude, can you believe that shit that happened to Trump? Fucking bullshit, bro. Fucking bullshit. They're like, bro, stop talking to me. I got 12 hours at this bitch. I don't want to hear anything else about Donald fucking Trump today. I mean that shit. They don't have anybody left, dude. And when Donald Trump was found guilty, they became more entrenched in their beliefs. They became more loyal to their cult leader because it's all they got left. It's all they have left. So, no, I don't think that it changed anything. So, on a political realm, it doesn't really mean much to me. But on a personal level, to see a person that's never been held accountable in their entire life, that has used a system that props people like him up and gives them unfair advantages over people in the middle, the lower middle, and the poverty-stricken, not to mention the upper middle class. To finally see somebody like that get held accountable on a personal level, it felt good. Made my heart sing. Said to me, you know what? Actually, every once in a while, turns out the court system does work out. Every once in a while, 12 fucking people from Manhattan, New York, get to stand up and say, I'm not scared of you guys. I don't care if the cult comes. I don't give a shit. This dude did some shit, and it's about time somebody told his ass that he did some shit. And I applaud those people, and I respect those people, and I appreciate those people. Because that was fucking hard to do, man. Any one of those jurors could have voted no. Any one of those jurors could have hung that trial, and they could have made millions off of book deals, off of interviews. They could have started a YouTube channel. They could have probably gotten a job at Fox fucking News. And not a single one of them chose to do that. They all voted guilty on 34 felony counts. 34 felony counts. And it feels good, man. So on a personal level, I hear what you're saying. Politically, it don't mean that much. But on a personal level, and for all the people out there that go, fine, we'll wait until you see Biden go down, and Obama go down, and Clinton go down. Guess what? They did shit. If you could prove it in a court of law, if you get 12 motherfuckers to sit in a room and say they definitely did that shit, then they'll go down too. I just don't think you guys got any evidence. I think you got zero. You think you get a psychology test? Some are Republicans too. Nana, one of them said that the only media that they consumed was True Social. A dude that only got his media, or a person that got their media only from True Social found Donald Trump guilty. That's crazy. And I'll be honest with you, for anybody that actually watched the trial, I mean, when I say watched, I mean read the trial, because obviously there's no cameras. Anybody that read the trial from the very first witness to the very last witness, which is what I did, to past the last witness, what am I talking about? I read the jury instructions. When the jury came out and he sent them back with new instructions, all these Trump supporters keep saying that he sent them home after they asked for clarification. No, he fucking didn't. I read that shit. I read it live. They came out. They asked for clarification. He gave them clarification, and he sent them back in. They said they were going to go home. And then a little bit later, they came out, and they're like, actually, you know what? This motherfucker's guilty. This motherfucker's guilty. Good. Okay, anyways, like I said. Woke, you out of here? Love you, Woke. Appreciate you. What up, Artie? That pecker destroyed those assholes. That pecker destroyed those assholes. Let's see. I did turn it off. I did turn it off, YouTube. Okay? Let's take a look at this one. This is another funny one. I don't want to be up here getting too angry. I'm not supposed to be getting all angry and shit, but, you know, people get me worked up. They share some dumb shit. They say some dumb shit. And at the end of the day, like, I just wish these people would come back to sanity, man. I want to have real conversations with real conservatives. I want to have somebody come in my chat that doesn't just spit conspiracy theory. I want to hear real arguments about why Biden isn't a good president. I want to hear real arguments about why, like, somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene should exist. I need to hear, like, what makes these people actually believe that this is true. I need logical arguments. And that's what I hope to get to one day. I don't want to be fucking debating conspiracy theorists my whole life. It's like I said, I always want to, like, finally get, like, something from a conspiracy theorist that blows my mind and makes me go, like, holy shit, this person was right. This is out of this world. But it never happens. I just sit here waiting for it to happen, and it never happens. All the shit that you share with me, all the shit you send me, all the shit you talk about in my chat, every one of these things, I look up, and I find that you have zero actual evidence except for I think, I feel, it's shady. That's it. That's it, dog. And it's sad, and it's boring, and it's getting to be just, like, out of this world for me. I want to see people coming in my chat that actually have real shit to talk about, that are going to say, I don't like Joe Biden because of this legislation, because he did these things. And when I say, now hold on, he did this, this, and this, they go, well, hold on. Why is that good? Let's talk about how this is wrong. Let's talk about how that's wrong. You know, that's the conversations I want to have. You are shooting at stores with no rocket fuel? I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I give people too much grace, man. I do. My wife's told me. Woke's told me. My liberal buddy that's kind of an asshole told me. My bosses have told me. I give people too much grace. I want to believe that there's really somebody out there that believes some of this crazy shit that can properly put it into some form that's digestible that you can look at and go like, oh, no shit, actually, that makes sense. But there isn't. So far, I've been on here for 1.5 years, man. All I get is crazy people. All I get is people like fucking linking me shit that the moment that I look it up, it's wrong. Factually, verifiably wrong. Somebody shared the E. Jean Carroll thing the other day that said that she said that grape is sexy. And I went, right off the bat, I was like, intuitively, I knew that that was out of context. And I was like, okay, let's see if she said that. And I went and looked, and within 5 fucking seconds, I had found the actual interview, listened to it, and was like, no. She's saying that the reason that it was hard for her to do what she did was because in our society, having a powerful man sexually assault you is seen as a good thing. It's sexy. And that by itself, that makes me glad that I went and watched that. Because I was like, that's a good fucking point. E. Jean Carroll, that's fucking based. She's right. Our society has grown off of the idea that a powerful man like Donald Trump sexually assaulting a woman is sexy. And that is fucking crazy. That is out of this world. How did we get here? And these are the same fucking people that want to say we want to go back to the 1950s when things were great. These are the same people that want to talk about how back in the day when women lived in the home and didn't go to work and they didn't have any aspirations, things were good. You notice it's like 99% men that say that shit? You know why? Because it was great for them. Your wife talked up, you just beat the shit out of her. And then the cops came, the cops said, oh, you should have made him a sandwich. That's fucking insane. These people are saying this shit to our faces, telling us they want to go back to a time where you could legally beat your wife because the cops weren't going to do shit. They want to go back to a time where no-fault divorce did not exist because they want to be able to put a woman in the home and put a baby in her belly and tell her to shut the fuck up. And there's women that are supporting this shit. Not a lot of them, but there's some of them. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're almost to 10,000. Let's watch Dollamore. Stop listening to my angry ass. I said I wasn't going to be angry, and he just got super angry.
On Friday, I did a video about pro-Trump prophet of God, Julie Green. The lovely and talented Julie Green, who claims to be a conduit for messages from the creator of the universe through her to the American people. It's an important job. I mean, imagine if God was speaking to you directly and you had messages that would certainly be correct messages, right? If God says, hey, listen, person out there, Donald Trump's going to be found innocent. You would certainly share that because it would be true, right? God wouldn't make a mistake because God knows past, present, and future, everything, right? Right? So here's 48 seconds. Here is where, prior to the Trump verdict, she said that the ruling would be innocent. Donald Trump would be found innocent of these charges. Here's 48 seconds. And then we got we got a whole new prophecy because apparently...
Which, just so you know, innocent doesn't exist in something like this. You can be acquitted, but being acquitted does not mean you are innocent. It means that the level of evidence did not reach the percentage of evidence that you need to prove something beyond a shadow of a doubt or beyond reasonable doubt. So even being in something where a person is acquitted, it does not mean that they are innocent. It just means that the evidence did not equate enough to prosecute.
Julie Green's God makes big mistakes.
Breaking news will be heard that will rattle the enemy's camp.
Holy shit. Look at this lady.
Innocent. This ruling will be heard.
I'm just going to be honest with y'all. This lady might be an alien. YouTube, don't ban me. That's not a conspiracy theory. Damn it, YouTube. This is for whoever reviews this video. I'm not trying to spread conspiracy theories. I'm just saying this lady looks like she might be an alien. Like, tell me right now, with a straight fucking face, that woman's not an alien. Okay? I think here's okay, I just said I'm not going to make up conspiracy theories, but I like to make up conspiracy theories for fun, YouTube. This is for fun. Allegedly. This is my theory. This woman is an alien that has been sent down to our country because America was doing too goddamn good. We're making too many technological advances, and the aliens needed to slow our asses down, okay? So they put this woman down here because they knew there's just enough dumb fucking Americans that they could throw a wrench into gears. They knew that if they just put this lady down here in a skin suit and she said some crazy shit, that there was enough Americans that are dumb as fuck that fall for this shit, that it would slow down our progress. That's what I'm going with. I think that this is like Russian interference, but it's an alien interference. I would say Russian, but she does not look Russian, okay? But of course, I don't really know what Russian people actually should look like, so maybe I'm wrong.
The case has fallen apart. Their last-ditch effort did not work for President Trump.
Yeah, she's wearing a skin suit.
They cannot put him in jail now as the last indictment falls apart. Watch how things dramatically take place to stop your election and my David from taking back the seat of the president.
You guys think ChatGPT wrote this shit for her? You think that she just like had an AI bot, like she was on Google? You know that like you can use Google now to write shit on Google? You guys think the whole script that she wrote right here? Because it looks like she wasn't ready for some of these words. She didn't pre-read this script, okay?
But your enemies cannot stop the freight train coming against them.
Reading level of sixth grader? Nah, this is lower than 6, dude. My sixth grader is way better at reading.
What a bummer.
Jesse.
Listen, of all the gods, and there are thousands to worship and venerate and to act as though you are the...
That's a solid point, Jesse. Which god said this? Was it Thor? Was it Zeus? Was it the flying spaghetti monster? Was it the Holy Spirit? Was it Shiva? What's that? What's the Indian god of war? Maybe it was that one. Was it some of the Native American gods? Because I'm pretty sure those gods, they're not big fans of white people. I'm just saying. I wonder which
the mouthpiece for. Why pick the one that's wrong all the time,
why would
Julie?
he speak these words?
I don't get it.
Exactly, DJ. Why would
or
that
maybe
be the
don't
things
make
he
ridiculous
says?
predictions that come out of your own head
Loki!
that are likely
That's
to
a
be
good
wrong
call, Dark.
because you don't have the political or legal acumen to predict things correctly within your own head.
Right?
You're making
Stop
God
invoking
your
shit. I'm
scapegoat,
sorry.
which is verging on sacrilegious, is it not? Here,
Bucket.
clip's a little
It's the
longer
next
than I
poll.
normally
The next
play,
poll.
but I wanted to give you the flavor for her. This is what God told me. He kept me awake. I wanted to go to sleep, but he had things that I needed to tell you from God.
That's not God. That's the crack rock. When you smoke the crack rock, you cannot sleep, ma'am. Just trying to help her out.
And he doesn't really ever admit fully that the message before was wrong, but now there's a new message. So check this out. It's a doozy.
But let's read what God gave me
maybe
last
my blocker
night
is on.
before I could go to bed. When I was in prayer for a very, very long time over what happened yesterday.
Holy shit, that's amazing. God, okay, look, just think of this for 1 minute. Just think of, like, you getting ready for bed. You tuck your kids in. You're like, good night. Jesus loves you. Trump loves you. I kind of like you. You go and you brush your teeth. You're brushing your teeth and shit. You're like, I'm about to go to sleep. You go down, you sit down, you start reading The Art of the Deal. You realize you can't read. You have less than a 6th grade reading level. You put it back on thing. You start to drink your vodka before you go to bed. And God's like, oh, hey, don't go to sleep yet. Don't go to sleep yet. I fucking forgot to tell you this. Hold on. kind of fucking weird. Is this how God works? Is it like, I know I got religious people in my chat, and I love you guys. I do. I just don't feel like this person represents you, okay? You guys got to help me out. You got to tell me, does this person really represent God? Because I don't think they do. I don't think Donald Trump represents any God. Well, there might be a couple, actually, if we think about it. There's some dastardly ass gods out there. Some darker ones. So maybe there's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple.
This is what he said.
So saith the Lord.
The celebrations against my David won't last long.
Carbon
this
monoxide
is the second word I heard
poisoning.
for that day. One was early in the morning, and one was
Jesus.
late last night before I went to bed.
Oh.
Woe to the enemies of Almighty God.
This is no Joe Osteen.
You are laughing.
My Jesus, this is the
thinking
worst.
you got what you desired. I will tell you, I will have the last laugh.
Oh.
Your verdict is a joke, an illusion. It's not real because it's not true. I will show you whose verdict really counts.
And then he crashed that bus straight into that fucking post.
And the world will see that is true.
Dude, she just called him Jesus. Oh my God. Look, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the Trump sphere that, like, I'm willing to, like, give a little grace, right? Like, I'm like, you a little mentally ill. Like, you believe some crazy shit. You know, COVID broke you. I truly believe, guys, that COVID broke people. I do. I believe in 2020, the perfect storm of Donald Trump and his idiocy and COVID broke people. And I don't even think that it's possible that they're coming back. I think they're done-ski. I think there's something in the brain that carved itself off and jumped off a bridge, and it ain't coming back. But if you believe that Donald Trump is Jesus, if you're one of these people sharing these memes right now that says Jesus was found guilty too, if you're one of these people right now that say that Jesus or Donald Trump is Christ-like, like, I cannot get on that level of stupidity. I cannot bring myself to understand how this mythical figure of what is supposed to be all that is right with Christian religion is represented in Donald Trump. That's fucking insane.
They will see your kangaroo courts and how they are a joke.
Oh, Cyrus.
And how
okay.
they are nothing against me. I am the judge over all the earth. And my court rules over yours. I have warned you to back off.
God needs to work on his vocabulary.
I have warned you to quit. But you refused.
Yeah, Trump broke people.
Don't get comfortable celebrating.
I don't know,
because
Rita.
it won't last that long.
Exactly.
Again,
Nana.
I say,
but that's logical.
You do not
again,
have
Nana.
my David
That's
where
logical.
you want him. But I have you where I want you.
Thank you, Grandma. Appreciate
I will
that.
open the doors wide
Like
and
hearing
show
people
the
say
world
that.
a sham of a case this was. I will show your place. You have brought your indictments. You have brought your supposed charges against him. You have proclaimed him guilty. Well, you will see. You can't get past me. This one.
Hold on. She went Dr. Seuss for a moment. She went Dr. Seuss on us, bro. She went green eggs and ham. Oh my God. No pun intended. Or pun intended. Fuck it. Pun intended. You know, this comedian brought this up the other day. I was watching this comedian talk about this, and, you know, you guys know I get most of my knowledge from comedians because that's where the good shit comes from. Trump supporters love that shit. But he said, why would he single out America? Why would it just be God bless America? Not God bless Uganda? Not God bless the UK? God bless the Queen? Not God bless Canada? It's just God bless the USA. Oh, you know who it was? I'm a fucking idiot. It's George Carlin. For those of you that are new to the channel, the Holy Trinity on my channel is Jon Stewart, George Carlin, Bill Burr. Because I believe it covers the entire spectrum There's some asshole-ish, there's some good logic, there's some knowledge, and there's a lot of jokes between those three. That's my holy trinity. And he said, why would it be God bless the USA? It's the same with football or baseball or any athlete getting up and saying, thank you so much for blessing me, God, because fuck that kid with cancer. There's so much that goes into the humanness. Like, if I were to get on a spiritual level, if you ever wanted me to be religious with you, you would have to get on my level with this thought right here. And that is, God can't really be involved in every single thing. Because if he is, then why is God blessing Tim Tebow to run 90 yards and score a touchdown in a Denver Broncos game to win one playoff game against the Steelers? Like, fuck all Steelers fans. Fuck all the Steelers players. Doesn't matter if they're as religious or more religious than Tim Tebow. And most importantly, fuck that kid dying of cancer. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense, man. Why would God be like, America should go over to other countries with a bunch of brown people and murder all those brown people? Why would God say that Americans should go to Iran in the 70s and overthrow the Iranian government to create instability within a country that will last decades, that will lead to wars throughout the Middle East? Supposedly one of the most religious places in the world. Why would we be okay with that? It's insane to think from this person's perspective that God, if God exists, is looking down on Donald Trump right now and going, I got to save this dude. I got to give him my entire attention. All those kids in St. Jude's Hospital, they've never done anything for me. They've never sold a Bible with a Constitution in it. I gotta save this dude that has been manipulating and taking advantage of poor people, immigrants. His father wouldn't fucking rent to black people. He's been sleeping with women that weren't his wife while they were fucking pregnant with his children. Why would he pick him? Why would he look down and go, I gotta save that guy from what? Probation? From paying restitution? From picking up trash on the highway? But a black dude that got put on death row because he is accused of raping somebody, that he did not commit that crime, that we find out 50, 60, 100 years later when DNA evidence proves that he was wrongly incarcerated. Yeah, fuck that guy. That's what God would be doing? He would be saying, fuck that guy. Let him be wrongfully accused and then murdered. I got to save Donald Trump. I got to get him out of there. How does any of that make sense? How?
Won't last. Your joyful laughter and smug actions in front of your cameras. Your show is about to end. And my children are about to laugh. And they will see you fail. And they will see you exposed.
Yeah, but Dustin,
you
they don't read.
You
they don't read.
will be put to shame.
What up, he
You will
hurts?
be tried.
What up, quesadilla?
And convicted. I told you you will reap what you have sown. You got what you wanted. You thought. Until
This
you
is
see
just
me.
word salad.
And I'm about to do to you what your judges, your lawyers, your court system, and your government, it will come crashing down. And you...
Wait, she didn't even finish that sentence. She didn't finish that sentence. I think she lost her place. What are you gonna, is God gonna give us all probation? I am going to do unto you what you've done to my son, Donald Trump. You guys all get probation. Also, if you'd like to sleep with a porn star while your wife is taking care of your 2-month-old, I'm going to do unto you that as well.
who will scatter before me.
Oh.
You are not in control of my David. his
Holy
life.
shit. What up,
his
Junior?
family,
You're back.
His freedom.
Junior, I'm so
or this
sorry that you
nation.
got caught in that
And you are
drive-by the
about
other day.
to see that is true.
I'm so sorry. You're an innocent victim, Junior.
Alvin Bragg, judgment is coming for you. I will show the world who you are and who paid you. Your emails will be exposed. God
damn it, this gets so much worse. Hold on. God's gonna expose people's emails? Is God the dude from fucking WikiLeaks? Julian Assange? God's gonna expose his emails. I hope God doesn't expose my search history. Y'all gonna find out that I like big, beautiful women. I kill myself sometimes. God's putting my search histories on the internet. Shit.
Your phone conversations will be heard. You are guilty of treason. And it will be your end.
She thinks Experian
You are
is
laughing
God.
now, but I will wipe
I
that
am.
smile
Oh,
from your
shit.
face.
She called it.
Because I will show you
Oh,
your
fuck.
place and where you belong.
Oh,
and I will
fuck.
show the
This
world
is a good one.
You were wrong. Saith the Lord of hosts.
She just fucking
Judge
Ron Burgundy
Mershon,
that
you are
shit.
not a judge at all.
I
I
thought
will
she
show
was
the
done.
world this was not constitutional. I will also show the world you are not above the law.
Once again, why would God talk about the Constitution? Like, I mean, you know, like, what's his name? Kenneth Copeland. Like that, he's scary as fuck. And obviously, he's a grifter, and he's not a good person. But you gotta give him, he's got his shtick down, right? Like he knows how to, like, fucking work people. Like, he grifts so hard. Like, how are you gonna be the only person in Trump's cult that's bad at grifting? What am I saying, though? This woman probably gets fucking thousands of dollars donated to her. I'm wrong. But she's probably one of the worst, though.
You will not stay in that seat.
Oh, my God.
Because I am your defeat.
This is not how God would talk. Exactly. Thank you, Nana.
What's with all the rhyming? You will not stay in that seat because
Dr.
I
Seuss,
am
Doc.
your defeat. Gald apparently has a rhyming dictionary on hand for English.
She be rapping.
Listen, a lot of embarrassment
like and
here. She is
subscribe, guys.
obsessed with the laughing at Donald Trump, the celebrating, and multiple times Gald wanted to address people who are celebrating the conviction of Donald Trump. Your celebrations won't last long. Woe to the enemies of Almighty God.
First of all, this celebration has been going on for almost a week now. It's been like 4 days, 5 days. And it has been, I'm actually feeling a little too much joy. I need to calm it down. I'm an older gentleman. And if I feel any more joy, I'm going to have to go see a doctor, okay? So I'm going to have to bring it down a notch. So I don't know if God's just like, he's playing with me right now. He's like, dude, I'm going to give you like heroin type of joy. Like, this shit's going to be good for you. And boom, take it out. That's a possibility. It's a possibility.
God.
Always a possibility. Always a possibility.
But interesting juxtaposition there between your verdict will be innocent and then
she
you
has a
have
YouTube
proclaimed
channel.
him guilty.
Why did I not think of that? Obviously,
Breaking
she
news
has a
will be
YouTube
heard that
channel.
will rattle the enemy's camp. Innocent. You have proclaimed him guilty.
Oh, what a difference just a couple of days makes. Am I right? Look, if this was just a personal prediction,
False prophet, but
or if it
real
was
prophet.
put out there as a personal prediction,
That's a good one.
who cares? People get things wrong. I have gotten things wrong. I've had
Yeah,
to take
no
my lumps
celebrating.
for
I hear
making
you,
predictions
Dark. I
on
hear
things
you.
that didn't come to
I hear
pass
you.
because I was wrong
Gotta get back
about what
to work.
my take on it was. Donald Trump's election in 2016, for instance,
wasn't
I was
wrong,
wrong
Nana.
about. But when you proclaim the prediction is not a prediction,
Nice case,
but
dear.
word from the
Very
creator
nice.
of the universe,
I got a private
there's
video
no
coming
room
out
for
soon.
error. But much like the prosperity preaching liars and hucksters and grifters, she's just another one. She's not steeped in prosperity doctrine. She is a prophet, so she's really just taking up for Donald Trump and saying whatever. But it's dangerous nonetheless. I looked at this YouTube video, and while she's live streaming, it is just hundreds of comments thanking her and praising God for this message from on high.
Wow.
And these people are going to vote. She has a large, defined audience. And people are convinced.
Mind-blowing.
It's dangerous. It's weird.
Mind-blowing.
She turns this into some kind of a dick measuring contest between her God's courts and the courts that are real here on earth. That my court rules over yours.
See how that works out for Trump.
We get it, Julie Green. Listen, I don't know how much more these people can take relative to humiliation and embarrassment. They are dignity-free actors. They have no shame in what they do. They have no regard for their own religion. They treat it with blasphemy. They treat it with 100%. Abject disrespect.
100%.
And they expect you to as well. What do you think? I'd love to know. I'm sure there's going to be...
Hit up Jesse Dollamar. Let's put him in the chat. Everybody support my fellow ginger. That's my man Jesse. That's insane. And you know what? This is what I say this. I say this whether it's Republicans or it's religion. I don't always agree with you. I don't always have the same values as you. But you should at least live by your values. You know what I'm saying? Like, I deeply disagree with religion as an institution because I feel like there's too many bad actors. There's too much control. I even say that necessarily in the past that it was useful, that it was helpful to certain people. And even a lot of times people would use the argument against me when I would say I don't like religion. They would say, well, it's helpful for some people. And I would say, like who? Like my thing has always been, if you need religion to tell you that you shouldn't do something, so that way you're a good person, you're not a good person, right? Like I believe that you shouldn't need the idea that somebody's watching you to do a good thing. You should just do a good thing. But in those arguments, people would always get me. They'd always use an argument against me that I couldn't do anything about. They'd say, "What about people in prison?" I go, "What about people in prison?" They go, "They're bad people that go to prison, that find religion, that become better people." And I go, "Oh, yeah, you got a point actually right there." Like that's a hard one for me to contend with. And then 2022, 2023-ish, religious people on the right started saying things like, Jesus isn't a good person. Jesus hates gay people. Jesus hates women that adulter. Jesus hates gay pride. Jesus hates the sinful. And I was blown away because forever they were able to use this argument against me that Jesus Christ was the example and that people going to prison that found Christ were able to learn from his example. And in hatred, in fear, in anger, they threw away that Jesus. They said he's no longer useful. They don't even want to win that argument anymore. They want Jesus to be just like them. That's so crazy. It's insane. Insane. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're almost at 10,000, guys. We're 10,000 and up. We're going for it. Don't forget to hit the like button, please. I know there's a lot of you that don't know where the like button is. It's up in the top right corner where the 3 little dots are on your phone. You hit that, you hit the like button. You get more people that come in through the channel and they talk to you guys. You meet more people that we can talk to. I say it all the time. I'm not going to tell you guys who to vote for. I'm going to tell you who I'm voting for. I'm voting for Joe Biden. And I can tell you why I'm voting for him. I can tell you that it's not because he's charismatic. I'm not going to tell you because he's got good jokes. I'm not going to tell you because he's young. Because that shit ain't true. Joe Biden's old as fuck. I'm going to tell you I'm voting for Joe Biden because of the Chips and Science Act. I'm going to tell you I'm going to vote for Joe Biden because of the immense amount of school debt that he has released for our fellow Americans that have been under the fucking choking noose of college debt where people were taken advantage of. I don't have college debt. I just support other people that are in a bad place. I support Joe Biden because of the Infrastructure Act, the American Recovery Act, bipartisan gun legislation. Everything that he got done with only 2 years of a functioning Congress. I support Joe Biden because of his administration. People like Chuck Schumer, people like Jamie Raskin, people like Katie Porter, people like Adam Schiff. I'm not telling you to vote for Joe Biden. I'm telling you why I am. You vote for who you think is the best person. But I'll tell you this. I'm up here to show you my brain works, so that way you know you can do it too. So that's a George Carlin thing. He's one of the Holy Trinity. And I just want you guys to make that leap of logic to find the person that works for you. Do it through education, through legislation, not from some kind of American Idol bullshit. You know what I'm saying? All right. We're gonna watch this one because I thought this one was fucking hilarious. This is the funniest damn video I've ever seen. Now, mind you, only watched like the first like couple hours. Yeah, they paid their debt. It was the interest that was hurting people. Like it's so crazy for me as a person getting up in age to hear other people. I'm Generation X. To hear other people from the generation before me or my generation saying things along the lines of, "I had to go through it, so you do too." I grew up living under a bridge. I grew up living in cars by a river. I grew up living in Slab City. I grew up going to homes. I grew up living in a converted bus in 110-degree heat with no air conditioning, no electricity, no water, no bathroom. When I was like fucking 10 years old, we used to shit in a 5-gallon bucket. And we'd have to take that 5-gallon bucket at 2, 3 in the morning because even in the middle of a trailer park in the ghetto, it was embarrassing to have to carry a 5-gallon bucket filled with human feces and piss, to a trash can and dump it in it. And at 10 years old, I carry that shit through a trailer park, through the ghetto, with fucking shit slopping on me. And I dumped that shit in there because we didn't have a bathroom. I'd have to go to school in the morning. I had to wake up and take a fucking sponge bath with fucking water from a hose because we didn't have real running water, because we didn't have plumbing. You don't have to go through that. I don't need you to go through that. Like, why would I ever look at the people around me and go, my life sucked and yours should too? I have 2 kids. I have a beautiful wife. I have friends that I would never want to see go through that shit. I grew up with skinheads, with gangbangers, with pimps and prostitutes. I grew up being chased to school. I've had guns pulled on me. I've knives pulled on me. Why would I ever say to somebody, I went through that shit, so you should too? It's insane to hear people say, I had to pay off my college debt, you should too. It's fucking crazy. Anyways, I'm going to stop ranting. Anyways, let's see what we got. Why is he back on his rant of growing up? Who pisses? No. Well, old people always making me angry. We all drank from a hose. Like that's what I'm saying. We got to stop voting against our own interests, man. It's people in ultra wealthy, the corporations, the ultra wealthy have convinced people that you should hate your fellow person. They've convinced you that you should make people pay the college that they took, the loans that they took on college. They've convinced you that there's nobody that you could vote for that'll do anything different. So they've convinced you not to vote. They've convinced you that corporations will leave America and take their business to China if you make them pay a fair living wage. They've convinced you that if you hold insurance companies accountable for their bullshit, that you won't have health care, that you'll sit in lines for hours, that Canadians have terrible health care, and the UK and every other country that has universal health care actually has a really bad system, even though the majority of people that come into my chat from those countries say they love their health care system. It's imperfect, but they enjoy it, and they shit on us for our terrible health care system. They've convinced us of all of those things, and specifically, they convince the older generations of those things. And it's our job to break that cycle and start voting in our interests. They bank on our apathy. Exactly. You're crapping in a bucket right now, Levon. It's just not fun. Let me tell you, you try and sit on the rim of a 5-gallon bucket when you're like 9 years old and try and shit into something that already has half a bucket full. It ain't a great feeling. It ain't a great feeling. All right, anyways, let's stop listening to me rant and be a fucking doomer, and let's start listening to some funny shit from Triumph the Insult Dog at the Trump trial. As I said, guys, I am a bona fide Trump supporter scholar. This is like Where's Waldo? Boom, right here. The MAGA Grinch, right there. Boom, called. We got one already. Let's see who else we get in this one. Oh, that scarf dude. That's the scarf dude with his, it says, Make America Great on that scarf. That if this man has a wife, we hope he has a wife, because if not, he knitted that shit himself. That dude's right there.
The Trump trial begins. For lawyers this week, it's all about jury selection and figuring out who's inclined to support their client. Experts are speculating how many questions Trump's legal team will be asking potential jurors about WrestleMania. Many legal experts say this case is weaker than Michael Cohen's chin. Trump is said to be very nervous about it, terrified that the courtroom sketch artist won't give him abs.
Dude, random, if I lived anywhere
course,
near you,
allowed
my
in the
wife would
courtroom,
go get that
which
cat.
means whatever happens in there today, we'll just have to take Donald Trump's word for it. That's okay with you, right? So much is at stake here. And like Chris Christie's waistband after a dinner at P.F. Chang's, the tension is almost unbearable. There appear to be a much larger contingent of Trump supporters here today. Though it's hard to tell if these people are here to support Trump or if they're living in the streets now that their Truth Social stock has plummeted.
Dude, I'm not kidding. When you look at Trump supporters, they have a lane that they are in. They have a type. And you only see this type of person at Walmart and your local county fair. Sorry, excuse me. Your local county fair. Holy shot.
You have to admire the diversity of this crowd. It is a virtual rainbow representing every kind of mental disorder. All the die-hard Trump supporters are outside the courthouse today. It's a real who's who of who's off their meds.
Totally not unhinged. Totally not unhinged at all, guys. For a second, I thought this dude was wearing an In-N-Out beanie. In-N-Out might want to look into this shit. Totally not unhinged. Not at all. That's the look of a completely sane, totally stable genius. I love Donald Trump. We got a problem with that bitch. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. This is amazing.
This man is gays for Trump, everyone. Gays for Trump. My name's Triumph. I'm with Dogs for Michael Vick. Judicial lynching. It's all lies and bullshit. That's what I think.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. Holy shit. So amazing.
He could serve up to 4 years in the White House. Still vote for him. I don't care. That's political. He doesn't understand.
What the fuck is...
This whole trial is on a
Wait. What has Biden done? So wait.
And if you guys don't know who this is this kid that does, I don't know, I think he's like a millennial or something like that, and he does like left-wing material. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of the TikTok or Instagram or any of those 15-second clips. Like, to be honest with you guys, I need a lot of information. Like, I don't like short clips of information. I feel like I'm being manipulated. I don't like that stuff. But this kid does that kind of stuff, and, you know, good on him for you know, trying to be active and stuff. But look at his demeanor, and then look at their demeanor. And once again, remember that these are the same people that constantly say that liberals are emotional, and they're the stable ones. They're the ones that are consistent, and they know what they're talking about.
I'm talking about law and order. I'm talking about science. Wait, guys, think about it. If the judge is really prejudiced, wouldn't that make him a Trump voter? Why are you wasting your time out here arguing with these Trump supporters when the city has so much priceless art you could be gluing yourself to? I just want to say everyone's coming at me.
That's amazing.
Very calmly, in a calm voice, explains his point, outlines his reasoning, until one by one, each person comes around to calling him a white supremacist pussy.
No, I don't call him. Let me tell you that.
Not you. You're the first.
Okay.
You're the first.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Adam Mocklin, Luke Beasley. Yeah, they're the shit, dude.
Justice, am I right? It's a travesty. Seriously, between me and you, all this rigmarole. Can you really respect a president who's 100% faithful to his wife?
And he doesn't drink. I think that was more impressive.
You're right. That cancels out all the raw dogging.
And this is why I don't actually believe that most of these fucking people are Trump supporters. I think they just grift. I think they probably would vote for Donald Trump because they're not really smart enough to figure out like who the better candidate is through legislation and laws and, you know, things that have been accomplished. But if you look at it, like, he doesn't, you know, there's certain Trump supporters, like the Gays for Trump guy, that they're just like really, really angry. And then there's some certain Trump supporters that like people make jokes to him and they kind of go, oh, well, yeah, I get it. All right. Ha, ha, ha. Real funny. And I think that those people are grifters and they just want to be a part of the spectacle and they want attention and they want people to make them feel like they're part of something. And people are so disconnected nowadays that things like this just attracts them to it. It makes them want to be there. It makes them want to be a part of it. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm just trying to explain who the fuck some of these weird-ass people are.
I think that was more impressive.
You're right. That cancels out all the raw dogging.
Any dude that doesn't drink just does a bunch of other shit. Walter Masterson. Yeah, Walter Masterson.
But seriously, of all these crimes that Trump is accused of, which one are you going to ignore the most when you go to the polls?
The one that he was the grandfather of the vaccine.
No.
It was a different.
Wow.
The vaccine. That's
wow.
What I did. Look what I did. I skipped everybody, all the steps, and we have a beautiful vaccine.
COVID was a scam. That was a scam, man. Not vaccinated. Look, vaccinate this. I'm not vaccinated. Why am I like that?
That's a scam. This trial is a scam. Tell me, what are you more afraid of? Politically motivated prosecutors or cell phone towers?
Oh, shit. I think they're equally the same right now.
Last question. What job are you pretending you didn't go to be here today? I guess you two guys are Trump supporters, yes? Yes. Yeah, everybody said it was going to be violent, you know, but...
Oh, it's the Santa Claus.
No
Trump Santa Claus.
Right?
Definitely not.
See, and in your case, there's no bath at all. You see, because he's unsanitary.
Oh, shit.
You're unsanitary. Yes. You know, it's all about hush money to a porn star, but let me ask you, at the end of the day, who do you think is going to win in the case? The bleach blonde with the huge jugs or Stormy Daniels? Well, you see, because Trump has bleach blonde hair. Bigger than yours. Thank you. In one case, out of all the criminal trials where he wasn't able to get the lead, which is, you know, saying something.
Oh, fuck, this is so amazing.
Has been so successful at getting these
For me to poop on.
They made him an
Exactly, Mitchell.
Southwest Airlines pilot.
Oh, he's gotten late. Yeah.
Oh, no, you know what? I bet you Trump wishes he could delay Stormy Daniels right now. Right? Delay.
He's like, you didn't get the joke.
All these
Whoosh.
Trump committed assault because of that kangaroo court conviction. That's not assault. Can I tell you what real assault is? Okay, 1 second. Down here. Okay.
Shit.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh Joe. Oh, now see, that's assault. Trump didn't do that. What Trump did, first of all, they were in a clothing store. Secondly, okay. It's all right. Forget it. You know what? I came. Everything's good.
Oh my God!
What the little doggy.
Hey, he's Trump.
Oh,
No, it's your sign. It's not Trump. Trump.
Listen, Trump all the way. The Holy Spirit tell me that don't worry.
Oh,
he's gonna be the next president. Man, lie, all the.
She's the Jamaican version of that white lady we saw. I love when people send me the memes and the videos of like, look, black people support Trump, Mexican people support Trump, Latinos support Trump, gay people support Trump. I'm like, wait, did you think I didn't think that there's stupid people in all races, sexualities, genders, and ages? Like, did you think that I thought that like a certain race of people, just like it was 100% intelligent, logical human beings, or there was a certain age or gender or sexuality of people, that every single one of those motherfuckers had like 180 IQ? Because I don't. I also grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in a trailer park, and I've said this a bunch of fucking times before. If you said to anybody in the place that I grew up, who you gonna vote for? First of all, none of them are voting for shit. But if you said, if you ever got up off your ass and went down to the polls, who are you voting for? They'd say Donald Trump. You know why they say Donald Trump? Because they're uneducated. And when you ask them, you go, well, hold on. Let me tell you some stuff about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, you think he's a successful businessman? Yeah, I do. Did you know that he's committed fraud? That he's went bankrupt 6 times? And every one of the people that I grew up with, except for like maybe 1 or 2 people, they look at you and they go, how much money you got? How much money you got? And I go, well, you know, I got a little bit. You got as much as Donald Trump? No, I don't have as much money as Donald Trump. That's true. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's because he's smarter than you. That's right. That's what makes you smart. Because people where I grew up equate taking advantage of people, fucking people over, stealing from people as being a smart person. And that's the same reason that Dave Chappelle stood up there and gave that fucking stand-up about how Donald Trump was so fucking smart for standing up there and being honest about stealing shit from fucking people like me and you by not paying his taxes and committing fraud. Because people where I'm from think that makes you smart. And it doesn't make you smart. It makes you a shitty human being.
Trump all the way. The Holy Spirit tell me that don't worry. He's gonna be the next president. Man, they lie all the time.
Ma'am.
He's convicted.
Ma'am.
It won't just be the first time.
No, not gonna convict. Not gonna convict.
No.
Oh, she was wrong too. Her God was wrong as well. Her God was wrong as well.
Are you saying that God is rigging the justice system? It's rigged. You heard it here first. There's no justice. God is pulling all the strings.
Who don't sin? Who don't sin? Everybody sin.
Everybody sin. We should forgive Trump. It's like Jesus said. Let he who has not had sex with a porn
What about Joe Biden?
And bought her silence with campaign.
What about Joe Biden then?
The first stone.
No, I never said that.
I know. It's a joke.
I know.
You know, it's very sad.
Oh, this poor lady.
He's almost 80 years old, and they're putting him through these long trials. First this one, then there's 3 more. He's going to have to go through maybe 4 trials.
God will give him the strength.
God will give him the strength?
Yes, man.
Thank God. I hope so, because seriously, 4 trials, that means he has to have the strength to threaten the lives of 48 jurors.
God's gonna give him everything. Everything, yes.
Oh, damn.
So do you think Trump
Damn.
to rise up and save America?
Yeah, I saw that they are getting doxxed. Yep.
God does
Yep.
not Trump.
Call on him. Just show you.
I think that's God calling right now. Yeah, he might have a couple of notes for you. My minister, I just want to say this is a travesty of justice. The gag order? Come on, that's not going to silence Trump. No way. He is a strong man. If you really want to keep Trump quiet, ask him to clarify his position on abortion. Can't people understand? Why would Trump want his tax money funding abortion when he's paid for so many abortions out of his pocket already?
Oh, you insult dog. Don't you say this.
It's on Google.
Don't trust Google.
Hey, Chan, all the way.
Hey, Chan. Oh. Did I say what's up, Mitchell? What's up, Mitchell? If I didn't say it.
See what happened there?
Oh, fuck.
It's always great when they know this.
Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Holy shit.
You had no idea that there was She got to watch you.
Oh, Cody, you're back. Welcome back, Cody.
On the receiving end.
We didn't have any trolls.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
The guy that comes in here and trolls my chat's mad at this guy for trolling people.
Go ahead. Can you believe this trial is crazy? Trump is, I would say now, the most obviously
I know,
innocent.
Cody, I know. I know.
Amen. Now that OJ's dead. Amen, that's for sure. I feel bad for Trump, I really do. I mean, think about it. He finally pays someone what he owes them, and they indict him for it. I can't catch a break. You believe he had sex with Stormy Daniels, right? I don't see why he wouldn't. But do you know that he wasn't wearing a condom? He pulled out so fast you'd think her vagina was NATO. You know, ganging up on Trump. Do you think it's getting to him? No, I think it's motivating him. You do? Because have you watched any of his rallies lately? I think Trump's kind of losing it. He's even started to slur his slurs. His slurs are racist comment. Oh, shit. Dracula's dead. You did it.
Dude, that is literally one of the funniest videos I have seen in a long time. Like, I don't even remember. How long ago did Triumph the fucking insult dog even become a thing? Because COVID messed everything up. So I believe everything was like 10 years ago, but it was really like 30 years ago. I don't think it's like 20 years ago or something like that. Jesus Christ, that was amazing. There is a lot of weird people. A lot of weird people at those Trump rallies. I'm still down. I know Redonk, one of my moderators, and one of my family members who likes to troll me in my chat as well. He's brought it up a couple times, doing some shrooms and going to a Trump rally. Woo! I don't know though. Like, you start to see things in that crowd. There is things in that crowd that you do not need to be on mushrooms for. You don't need acid or LSD or any drug to go into that crowd and just have like an absolute insanely good time. And I think one of the things that has really made this a culture, like I was thinking about this the other day, like how do you explain to people the Trump supporter culture like 20 or 30 years from now? Like, how do you explain that there was these different people that you had names for, that they went to every rally and they all had some kind of weird trick they did? You know, the MAGA Grinch guy, he tells people he wants porn. He likes porn. He says it over and over and over again. Edward the debt collector, he likes to go on Klepper and talk about how things were really good for him as a debt collector under Trump. You got the one black dude that's always selling the shirts. There's so many different weird like characters. I mean, you can say what you want about the left and young people and their opinions on whether it's Palestine or trans rights or whatever it is. I got no characters. There's no individuals that I'm like, oh, that's the Palestine lady. That's, you know, it's like, instead, for the most part, people just use like a very generic description. of them. Like, you can say what you want about the left, you can say what you want about the young people that are protesting and speaking out on social issues, but there's no characters. It's weird. It is a very unique phenomena to Trump supporters. And if you deny that shit, if you deny that shit, you're one of them. All right, how long have we been on this show? I've been here for a while. 2 hours and 20 minutes. We're reaching the end. I'm getting tired. I worked all day today. Came home to do this stuff. Trying to hit 10K just for the fun of it. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget that you can support me through Super Chats. You can support me by joining the Angry Ginger Army. For only 10 cents a day, you can save. Well, I don't know what you're going to save. But you can support a soulless ginger and his journey. I was on a journey to learn about politics. And I took a side quest when I saw the crazy-ass Trump supporters. And I've learned a lot about politics. I have. During this journey, I have learned a lot more about politics. Things like, there's no fucking way I'm a libertarian. Whoops. Things like, joining certain groups of people is probably a bad idea because, their party isn't going to represent all of your values. But the side quest of learning about the Trump supporters, it's been real. It's been so weird. And in many ways, I do hope for society as a whole that it's winding down. And I've even got to the point where I've started talking about what to do with the channel after. Because, people like Carrie Lake, Don Jr., Eric, all of these people, they're still going to exist. They're still going to exist. Thanks, Junior. Thanks for joining up, Junior. I appreciate you. They're still going to exist. The Laura Loomers, like I said, all the characters, they're still going to exist, right? They're not going away. MTG, Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert's going to lose her job, and she's probably going to become a fucking oil lobbyist right away. So I've thought about, what are we going to do? Do we really want to, give those people more screen time after all of this shit? Because Donald Trump's already started with the sad sack energy. If Donald Trump loses the presidency, he just seems like he's just going to go into a full and total depression. He does not seem okay right now. But the grifters are still strong. I don't know if you guys saw, Tim Scott was literally grifting off of Donald Trump's donations. He was saying, donate to Donald Trump, and then he was taking $95 out of every $100 for himself. One of Donald Trump's people actually had to go on X and be like, dude, if you're stealing from Donald Trump, you're just as bad as everybody else. About a dude that's potentially his vice president. Kristi Noem's out there shooting puppies. Stefanik's just crazy as fuck. MTG's MTG. So I don't know. Do we stick with that? Do we keep doing that, or do we go a different route? I'm gonna continue my journey of learning real shit about politics, because you don't actually learn anything covering Trump stuff. Covering Trump stuff, you don't learn anything except for what crazy people from the Trump side are gonna say, and you only need to study that for about 30 seconds, and you get all 3 of their talking points. I once prepared for a debate with a Trump supporter, and I had 8 pages of notes on all the indictments. I'd read all 4 indictments. I had researched the Espionage Act and the Presidential Act, and whether or not Joe Biden's Camaro was resting on a folder of potentially classified information. I had all of these things ready, and I got into this debate, and he just said the same 3 things that Donald Trump supporters always said. And then I just started making his points for him. I was like, hold on. Let's talk about the First Step Act. You don't know about that. So I'm going to hop in here and help you out. Oh, man. All right. Thank you, Junior, for signing up, man. I appreciate you so much. I totally over-prepped. I still got the folder. I should open that folder for you guys so you can see it sometimes. I don't know how to because I'm old and I don't know how to technology. But I have. So when I first came on here and I met Angela Knight, and I got in Angela Knight's chat. This is after she had owned one of these red pill douchebags and had made his life utter living hell for being an asshole. Shout out Angela Knight. I got on Angela's stream and I said, She said, I love talking to you guys. And I go, but not me, because I've sent you multiple emails and you never responded. And she said, okay, fucking send me another. And we talked, and I learned to create like these debate profiles. And she decided that wasn't really her spiel, and she didn't want to do it. And she left to get away from the madness of the YouTube content creation. And I still appreciate her to this day. I still have her on WhatsApp, and she's the homie. She's 100% the homie. I love Angela, and I love Angela until the day I die. She was one of the first people I met on here. Coolest people, most down-to-earth people. The person that told me that almost everybody on YouTube is a facade, a WWE character, and she was one of the only people that, like myself, just wanted to be herself. And then so, like, you know, shout out to her. So I don't know where we're gonna go when this all happens, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, we still got crazy ass shit from Donald Trump and all his supporters to watch. So let's tell. Where's Mike telling me to shut up? Where's Mike telling me to shut? Where's DJ telling me to shut up? You guys aren't yelling at me in chat to play the video. Here we go. All right. This will probably be the last one, but this is right after. For one, why you're just gonna canvas the background with the American flag? I want to start this movement, and I've talked about it before. It's time to take back the American flag. It's time to make the American flag synonymous with good people again and take it away from white Christian nationalists. It's time that from this point on that we take the American flag back and make it a symbol of America, and no longer do we have to see a bunch of motherfuckers and you see them with their gigantic fucking truck and their 19 different weird-ass flags, and the American flag is the smallest flag on their truck. Like, it's time to take that shit back. It's our flag.
In other words, you could go into every single thing that I ever did. Was he a bad boy here? Was he a bad boy there?
Failed former president and now convicted felon Donald Trump's speech after being convicted was an absolute sweaty and disheveled mess. Trump completely incoherent.
Thanks, Mitchell. I appreciate you
hair
for being here.
doing
I appreciate
something
all
very
you guys
strange,
for being here.
looking haggard
Thank you
and
so much.
disheveled, soaking wet by the end of the speech. And
It's our
without
flag.
that teleprompter, this guy really, really struggles. Trump completely incoherent, and I dare you to make sense of what he's saying here.
Bragg's people protested, and the judge knocked him out, said you can't testify. He actually said you can't testify for anything having to do with the trial. You can say what the federal elections is. Well, that doesn't help. Everybody
What?
knows that.
We need straight facts, no chaser in here. Straight facts, no chaser. Let me do my best impression. What this motherfucker right here is saying is nothing at all. It's just word fucking salad. He knows that you are so goddamn stupid that he doesn't have to say anything at all, because you will just eat this diarrhea straight from his asshole. Oh, I went Samuel L. Jackson for a second there. Sorry.
But you can't.
Guys, you can say what the federal's elections is.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Don't you get it?
Testify. So essentially, he wasn't able to testify. Other people weren't able to testify. But with these people,
I'm with you, Mitchell.
they were
I'm
able
with
to
you.
use people salacious. By the way, and nothing ever.
They were able to use people salacious.
Dude, Trump heard somebody else use the word salacious. Who was it the one time? It was a provocateur. Do you guys remember when Donald Trump kept using provocateur? Like it was when he was still president, and he kept using provocateur. Or maybe it was a different word, but it was the same type. I think it was a provocateur. And he just kept saying it over and over and over and over again. And somebody said, Donald Trump doesn't know what that word means. He just likes the way it sounds. And I was like, you know that there was somebody at a table at one point that was like, yeah, that was a Russian provocateur. And he went, what? And they're like, it was a Russian person that was in her hand. He's like, no, that word. What did you use? Provocateur? Yeah, that's a good word. I'm going to use that a lot. He heard somebody else use salacious, and he's like, I don't know what it means, but I'm gonna use that shit as much as possible because it makes me sound it makes me sound like a very loquacious individual. Very eloquent.
Don't you know what federal's elections
probably Stephen
is?
Miller. Yeah.
There was no anything. Nothing ever happened,
Salacious
and
and
they know it.
loquacious.
But they were as salacious as they could be.
Yep. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I genuinely don't know. Now, he did address to some degree
And
why
they
he didn't
don't
testify.
either.
Why didn't
And
he
they
testify?
don't
We know the
either.
real reason. The real reason is he would immediately perjure himself. There is
Yes.
no
Yeah.
story
He would have made
that
it
is an
worse.
alternative explanation of the facts that would not be.
Now, Donald Trump can't help himself. Donald Trump is Donald Trump's worst enemy. I said this at the beginning of this, and I'll say it again. When he stood up there and said he didn't pay his taxes, when he stood up there and said, yeah, I did all that shit and you can't touch me, he opened the door for every one of these trials. Donald Trump is Donald Trump's own worst enemy. And if Donald Trump had testified, I mean, he was already found guilty, but I doubt there would have been any deliberation at all because Donald Trump can't help but talk back because no one talks back to Donald Trump. He's the kid that was never told no. He's the rich kid in your neighborhood that had the Super Nintendo that nobody really liked, but you stayed at his house and you spent the night because you just wanted to play Super Nintendo, and he knew that shit. He knew he had that over you, and he used it against you every chance he could. That's who Donald Trump is, and if you put his ass on the stand, all of that comes to the forefront, and it was the last thing that Donald Trump or those jurors Donald Trump or his lawyers wanted those jurors to see.
Be a lie that Trump could have told. Here's
Sharon.
Trump, I
Appreciate
guess,
you, Sharon.
trying to
Thanks for
explain
being
why
here.
he didn't testify.
So you're going to call it. Now, I would have testified. I wanted to testify. The theory is you never
It's rigged.
testify because as
What
soon
up,
as you
Robert?
testify, anybody.
Good to see you, Robert.
If it were George Washington, don't testify because they'll get you on something that you
Pac-Man
said
is the
slightly
man.
wrong and then they sue you for perjury. But I didn't care about that. I wanted to. But the judge allowed them to go into everything that I was
exactly,
ever
Mitchell.
involved in. Not this
Right.
case. Everything that I was ever involved in, which is a first. In other words, you.
We don't even know what he's saying, but it's not true. He could have testified. He would.
Yeah. In fact, he starts talking about how they could go over everything, but I'm trying to remember. But there was one specific case, one specific time where the prosecutors wanted to introduce certain evidence to do with one of his other trials, and actually Mershon said they couldn't because I was like, damn, that sucks. But Mershon told him he couldn't. See, but he doesn't have to be telling the truth. That's the thing is, none of these people are going to go look this shit up. I told you, I watched a video of this Trump supporter going, look at this crowd. It was in the Bronx. And the guy who fucking stitched into it was like, that's Obama's crowd from St. Louis of 100,000 people. Like, no one, every one of these things that gets sent to me by conspiracy theorists and doomers and Trump supporters, none of it bears out when you look up like 2 minutes or 3 minutes worth of evidence. I told you, I really do. I want this moment of one of these guys to send me something where I go, holy shit, that's right. I want that aha moment too, but it never turns out. Every single thing that they send me, everything I look at takes me all of 5 seconds to confirm that it's complete and utter bullshit.
Would have been
It's
able to
crazy.
explain his version of events, and if it would have been true and maybe useful in some
It
way,
takes the controller
it would have
away.
been advisable for him to do it. Of course, every one of his
Yeah,
lawyers
Obama
knew
was
it
at
would be
the
a complete and
podium.
total disaster. Trump then talking about whether he was a bad boy. This
I love
speech
this
getting
part.
so
This
strange,
is-
and
I
everybody
love
cuts away
this
from
part.
it eventually. You'll see in a moment.
This
it's
is
wild.
The judge allowed them to go into everything that I was ever involved in. Not this case. Everything that I was ever involved in, which is a first. In other words, you could go into every single thing that I ever did.
not a
Was
first,
he a
but
bad
it
boy
didn't
here?
even
Was he a
happen.
bad boy there? And my lawyer said, what do you need to go through? And all you wanted to do is testify simply on this case.
My client has been a very good boy, Your Honor. Please.
He's a bad
Trump
boy.
says that his witnesses were
Reliving those
literally
stormy
crucified,
spankings.
by which I assume he means figuratively crucified.
so.
Although I don't know what Trump
No.
is claiming here.
As far as the trial itself, it was very unfair. We weren't allowed to use our election expert
right
under any circumstances. You saw what happened to some of the witnesses that were on our side.
Wait, what would an election expert have to do with anything to do with a case about him covering up or falsifying business records? would it be? I mean, obviously, the underlying crime was that it influenced the election. Would the guy come on there and go, that actually wouldn't influence the election? In my expertise, the covering up of a hush money payment to a porn star where the president of the United States, or former, I guess he was still the president at that time. No, he wasn't the president. Okay, sorry. The potential president of the United States of America cheated on his wife that just gave birth to the 2-month-old. That wouldn't have affected the election at all, in my expertise. That's the only thing I could possibly think of that he could say.
They were literally crucified by this man who looks like an angel, but he's really a devil.
Oh,
there
was
you
it the
go.
same guy?
He looks like an angel, but
Rick
he's really
me
a
harder.
devil. Sounds like the good first verse for some kind of heavy metal
Jesus.
song. And then a confused Trump repeats the same thing 15 minutes apart about a Daily Mail poll. You'll see, if you're watching, you'll see the clock in the upper left go from about 11:15 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Trump just tells the same story again. Has no idea what he's talked about.
He's done.
Rambling aimlessly. No memory of what he
done.
said 15 minutes earlier.
Because I just see a poll just came out, the Daily Mail. That was
Right.
the first one, came out, was done last night right after the verdict, where I'm up 6 points. 6 points from what we already were. We were leading fairly substantially.
Right.
We're up 6 points in the Daily Mail poll. Now, maybe other polls come out and says something differently. A poll
Okay, so now it's 13 minutes later.
just came out.
I
The
love
first
that
poll, I don't know, maybe others will
qualifier.
be bad. But a poll just came out.
Dude, he said the
a
same
little while
thing.
ago. The Daily Mail. Does anybody read the Daily Mail? It's very good. They have a good poll.
Yeah.
At least I like it today.
You know, in Trump's defense, sometimes I repeat things too because, you know, my subscribers are coming in, they're coming out. I don't know. Maybe at his rally, the people are getting up and fucking leaving. Some new homeless people wandered off the street and he's like, oh, they haven't heard my story about the Daily Poll yet. Gonna get a couple more subscribers out of this one. Maybe they'll buy my Bibles. Hey, you don't have any shoes on. Would you like to buy some shoes? Oh, Jesus.
And the Daily Mail
Don't
just
forget
came
to
out
like
with
and
a poll,
subscribe, guys.
And it has Trump up 6 points. In the
Okay, so 13 minutes earlier, he had already talked about that. This is getting really bad. And so the networks start dumping. CNBC
They're like, he's fucking looping.
is the first
He's
network to
looping.
dump out of this fiasco.
hush money, hush money. It's not hush money. It's called the non-disclosure agreement.
I love this
And
part.
most of the people in this room have a non-disclosure agreement with their company. It's
It's such a funny thing to say. It's not hush money. It's a non-disclosure agreement. It's like I didn't. That's kind of, you know, like that's almost Bill Clinton. Like, I did not have sex with that woman. Or was it? I did not inhale. I did not inhale. Or maybe Nixon. I am not a criminal. I said the words. That means it's true. Holy shit, this is
a
amazing.
disgrace. So it's not hush money. It's a non-disclosure agreement, totally legal.
By the way, why do you say disclosure? Disclosure.
Oh,
Totally
no.
common.
What's up, Keith?
Everyone has it. And what happened is...
Tired, got a buffer.
You've been listening
Not
to former
drinking
President Donald Trump speaking at Trump Tower, reacting
This is like we
in
gotta stop this
a
shit.
broader way to the...
I love the characterization. They don't know how to say it's a completely aimless rant. So she says he's reacting in a broader way. Yes, by talking about polls and who knows what else. CNN then cuts it and refers to the entire thing as a rant, and also says that without his prompter, Trump sounds disjointed, which is certainly charitable.
It's very bad for friends and businesses, but I'm honored to be involved in it because somebody has to do it, and I might as well keep going and be the one.
Right.
But I'm very honored to be involved because we're fighting for...
We're going to continue to monitor Donald Trump and his remarks. He's making very, very strong statements, and we're going to have a fact check on those statements.
Oh, do we even need to fact check anything anymore? Like, I am the fact check king. Like, I think that, like, the shit I say you should fact check, the shit I hear from David Pakman I want to look up, the shit I hear from the conspiracy theories. But at this point, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like you can just kind of go, nah, it's probably bullshit when Donald Trump talks. Like I said it the other day, I'm like, with all these TikTokers and the Xers and Donald Trump and the Donald Trump orbiters, they are wrong so often. I'm not even mad. It's kind of fucking impressive. Like, even a broken clock is right twice a day. And they are wrong, like, every fucking time. That is impressive. Like, most people that have non-disclosure agreements could talk for hours, and they get something right, they'd say something that is true. But Donald Trump can go for a whole goddamn word salad ranting speech and not say a goddamn thing that's true. I am not mad. I am not angry. It's genuinely pretty fucking impressive.
It's coming up shortly. Daniel Dale is standing by. Aaron, we're listening to the former president of the United States say,
what's his name? Pete Davidson Bandito?
We are living in a fascist state.
Pete Davidson.
He refers to the trial as a scam, a rigged trial.
Yeah.
He says he would have loved to have testified. He could have testified.
They are
It was his
consistent.
decision
You're
not
right,
to
Mitchell.
testify.
My bad.
He said,
My
quote,
bad.
I would have loved to have testified. And then he went after some of the witnesses, including Michael Cohen, for example, potentially a violation of the gag order that has been imposed by the judge against him.
He's
Aaron, we're going to continue to listen to what
enemy.
the former president has to say, but clearly, without a teleprompter, he's going off the cuff.
Like, people talk about how everybody else is against Donald Trump, but no one does as much damage to Donald Trump as Donald Trump does. Do you know that, like, the judge could have given him, like, so many more fines? There was that point where Stormy Daniels was testifying and Donald Trump shook his head and said bullshit under his breath. Judge Merchan was doing such a good job of being impartial that he waited for the jury to leave before he called Trump's lawyers up to his fucking desk and said, hey, I'm trying to not embarrass your client in front of the jury. Please do him a favor and tell him to shut the fuck up. I'm obviously paraphrasing. There are multiple points within this trial where Judge Merchan could have given him contempt charges. That he literally said when he called him up, he said, I don't want to send him to jail. He is a former president and potentially the next president. Like, I don't get how you can't look at a statement like that from the judge, even if you love Trump, even if you hate Merchan, and go, hey, big ups, dog. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for being chill in this scenario. Thank you for doing that. But they can't. Instead, they fucking rag the dude. Instead, they shit on the dude. Instead, Donald Trump comes out here and starts potentially talking about things that could violate the gag order again, like a day after the trial. He is his own worst enemy. And when everybody talks about how, everything's rigged against him, yeah, he's rigging it against him by opening his mouth, by tweeting on Truth Social, by fucking recording his own conversations because he's a narcissist. Dude, yeah, he rigs it against himself.
He's railing against almost everything.
Yeah, and Wolf, the fascist state,
Later,
of course,
Jess.
the line that stands
Appreciate
out.
you,
But
Jess.
as you point out, the
I
Have a
love
safe
that.
trip.
He's against everything. I love that.
Yeah,
he's railing against almost
he's
everything.
railing against everything.
Genius. Oh man, Wolf Blitzer.
Oh, this is the
like,
vibe,
fact
David
that he's
Pakman.
So serious.
This is the vibe.
Makes it so good. And then eventually MSNBC
Yes, he's a walking,
relents as
talking
well
crime
and is like,
scene.
we gotta fact check some of this stuff.
This is a case that should not have been.
But also, Donald Trump is the king of the Gish Gallop. He is the king of the Gish Gallop. He says so many things that are wrong that it makes it almost impossible to keep up with the falsities. Like, he literally says so much bullshit that you get drowned in a literal river of verbal diarrhea. You don't have enough time to come up for air to fact check any of the shit he says, because by the time you are trying to find the first thing that he said that was bullshit, he's already said 6 or 7 more, and you're behind. You're so far behind that you feel like you're fucking drowning in the verbal diarrhea. Don't forget to like and subscribe. They should have allowed TV cameras in the trials. Once again, that was them doing him a favor. They're doing him a favor because when there's a camera on Donald Trump, he can't help but act out. I have pointed this out to people. I have said, if you look at the difference between Donald Trump's behaviors in the civil trials and the criminal trials, it clearly shows that during the civil trials, he was attempting to get Engeron, if I'm saying his name right, Engeron, to react in a certain way to potentially get those trials to be ruled a mistrial by an appellate court. And that's literally why he appealed them immediately. Now, none of that shit's working out because Engeron, even though at certain times Engeron did lose his temper, apparently it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for a mistrial. So far. We'll see what happens. But he, in my opinion, and I asked Richard Abel, who's a law professor at UCLA and has been for something like 40 years, has received awards from multiple different prestigious colleges, has written articles for multiple different publications. I asked him, I said, do you think that Donald Trump was intentionally trying to cause a mistrial or give the appellate courts a reason to overturn the civil verdicts? And he said, yeah, 100%. I said, why does he pick these people, these weird lawyers? Is it because they can control them? Is it because he can get them to do buffoonery in front of the judge to try and get the judge to overreact? He said, yeah, I think it's a little bit of that, and I think it's also because he loves to have hot chicks around him. So, he's like, I wouldn't ever tell any of my students to ever pick that. He's like, but that's what Donald Trump does. Donald Trump wants a pair of titties sitting next to him. Donald Trump wants a hot chick sitting next to him. He doesn't care if they're good at defending him. He's that much of an adversary for himself. He'd rather have a chick with fake titties sitting next to him representing him than a lawyer that has an ability to get him out of a trial because he's just going to hope that he gets overturned. Because that is literally what Donald Trump has lived off of his entire fucking life, is his ability to get away with doing shit that other people don't. And it's finally coming to a head. King of the shit gallop. What's up, Liz? What's up, Ronnie? He can't keep his mouth shut. They did him a favor by not putting the cameras in there. If there was a camera on Donald Trump, he would have acted out over and over again. And the reason he didn't act out in the criminal trial is because he knows it could impact his sentencing. He knows that it could have impacted the jury. You put a jury trial in there with Donald Trump in a criminal trial, and all of a sudden Donald Trump, the worst he does is shake his head and say bullshit under his breath. Why? Because he knows how to manipulate the court system. And that's why he bragged about not paying his taxes. That's why he brags about using bankruptcy to secure better loans on buildings that he runs into the ground on purpose so he can claim bankruptcy so he can get better loans that benefit him.
Been brought. I watched Andy McCarthy say this is a case that should not have been brought.
Yeah, 24 News cycle.
And that was this morning.
We'll keep an eye on this press conference. Donald Trump, in his first real news conference, you could call it, following his guilty verdict. 34 counts, all guilty. And so now he is railing on the justice system, railing on the judge, and continuing to say many of the similar things we heard throughout the trial. It's important for us to at least fact check some of them at the moment.
We couldn't possibly fact check all of it, but we're going to try to at least fact check some of it. And then here's like the sort of cherry on top. Even on Fox News, their anchor is like, they said it would be a press conference, but he's like not really taking questions.
November 5th is the most important day in the history of our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
So the president talked for about 40 minutes. We were expecting the former commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, to take questions. This had been billed as a news conference and that reporters would be at least available. There would be the former president for their questions.
She's like, I don't know what to say.
It didn't happen, Harris, unfortunately for you and for everybody else.
Missing
I guess,
a good
I was
attorney.
To see some questions. So, what a wild event!
That Teflon
and every
scraping
network
off.
struggling to understand what that was. Not a stable genius at this point in time, that's for sure. It's important to me that any supplement I take.
Look at that, David Pacman. I'm gonna tell you guys this. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I got streamer envy. Brian Tyler Cohen has like the sharpest suits on the internet. And then David Pakman pops on here with it. He's got like, is that shirt alpaca? That might be an alpaca sweatshirt. I'm over here in my brewery shirt, and my sweater, my jogging sweater. I got some severe streamer envy going on right now, guys. Oh, man. Also obsessed with reciprocity after he first heard it. Yeah. Loves those words. Loves those words. He don't know what any of those words mean, but he knows they make him sound smart. And like I said, when you're talking to people like the people that I grew up with, the people from my history, my past, if you use the right words, you sound like the smartest motherfucker, you know? And that's all they need. And that's why, look, he ain't wrong. All these people, they will vote for him even if he shot somebody on Fifth Avenue. And he's going to be there in November. Like I said, this isn't a political victory. This is a personal victory. This is a victory where you got to see a person that had never been held accountable for their actions get held accountable for their actions. And I hope to God that all these people are right, and that it's a domino effect for all politicians. It's just like Straight Facts No Chaser said in that video we watched last week, this should be a wake-up call to every single politician, whether they are left, right, center, libertarian, progressive, whatever. It should be a wake-up call that no one is above the law, and that if you literally stand up there and tell people that you're willing to commit crimes and you did commit crimes and nobody can do shit about it, that at least that's the bar for being held accountable. Sweet Jesus, that's the most we've asked for so far. And finally, somebody was held accountable for this shit. So it's not a political victory, but it is a personal victory. It's good to see. But in the political realm, everybody's got to remember, like, his base is the same it was before the trial, and it's the same it was after the trial. It ain't going to make no difference in the cult. So if you want to see Donald Trump being held accountable for his second trial, his third trial, his fourth trial, Georgia, Florida, Washington, all the civil trials that are being brought against him and suing him for his actions on January 6th, if you want to see that happen, then you better get out and vote. You better tell the people around you that say things like, my vote doesn't count or my vote doesn't matter, that their vote does matter. Look at people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Look at people like Lauren Boebert. A bunch of people said, my vote doesn't matter. And then a bunch of people woke up at Walmart and were like, I think I'm going to vote today. And now we got Marjorie Taylor Greene. And we got Lauren Boebert. If there is any better example of your vote matters, it's those fucking people. Look at George Santos. Thank God he got kicked out. Your vote matters. November 5th. This year, if you don't take this shit seriously, you don't wake up and say to yourself, it's worth doing. And I'm not talking about just the president. I'm talking about all the way down the ballot. If you don't vote for every single person that is available to vote for, that you believe in, that you believe represents your values, you're making a mistake. And for my people out there that disagree with some of the shit Joe Biden's done, I feel you. I understand you. That's the great thing about being on the left, is you have the right to criticize Joe Biden. You have the right, and you should protest some of the things Joe Biden has done. But if you think that not voting in this election and letting somebody like Donald Trump get into office is going to improve the things like that are happening in Israel, Hamas right now, then you should take one look at that Nikki Haley video of her signing an artillery show. You should take a look at Trump's legislation when he was in office, when it came to Israel and his support of Israel annexing the Golan Heights, something that like one other country, a third world country, had done. We were the only other person to do so. His positive reinforcement of moving the embassy and recognizing Jerusalem as the state capital. Or the state capital, the capital of Israel. And if you think something like the Abraham Accords wasn't something where Donald Trump was attempting in a very narcissistic way to once again do something better than Obama, be better than Obama, and that in no way provoked Iran into the situation that created the Israel-Gaza conflict that is going on right now, then look into the history of the Middle East. Because there's no way Iran was going to sit back and watch Saudi Arabia join those accords. And that's why they paid for people like Hezbollah to create the conflict that you're seeing today. You don't want to get out and vote. You think it ain't worth your time. You think it doesn't matter. You're going to have some real remorse if you don't like what's going on in Israel right now. You have some real remorse. Because Donald Trump, joking or not, is willing to put a fucking Trump Tower on the Gaza Strip tomorrow. He's ready to build the Trump Resort Beach Club and put a golf course right in the middle of Gaza. You don't believe me? Don't vote. But don't fucking come back and tell me when you didn't do that. So anyways, like I said, criticize Joe all you want. I feel you. And you should. Protest Joe all you want. You should. You have the right to do that, and you should exercise those rights. But when it comes the day to walk through that door and vote on that ballot, remember what you're voting for. Chips and Science Act, American Recovery Act, Infrastructure Act. There's a lot of good things. Nobody's perfect. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. I'm very thankful for you guys. If you want to support me, you can always super chat during the live streams. You can subscribe to my channel by joining the Angry Ginger Army. The link's in the description, or you can find it on my channel. It's 10 cents a day. It's the best deal on the internet. 10 cents a day, and you can support a soulless ginger in his education to politics. I came from nothing. I had nothing. I have a good life now. I don't need money, but hey, it feels better when people are supporting the channel. You can also buy merchandise. You can get yourself a sweet-ass Lock Him Up shirt. You can get yourself a Make Angry Great Again shirt. Lieutenant Bone Spurs. There's a couple different shirts on there. If you guys want to support me in that way, you can do that as well. And you can always support me by just showing up. Just being here, being in the chat, subscribing to the channel, helping me get my voice out there, having a good time, and reminding people that you don't have to be a pessimistic doomer. You got one life to live. You should have optimism. You should have humor. You should laugh. You should love the people around you. You should feel like you're supported, and you should support them too. Speaking of, thanks, Robert. Thank you, man. I love that, man. Thank you so much, Robert. Robert's been supporting me for a long time. All of you OGs, all of the people that came, the people that started with me on the Klepper reaction videos, all the people that were here when I was talking about whether or not I could beat up The Rock. I think there was like 10 of you during that time. But people like Robert, people like Mikey, people like DJ, people like Bucket, all my new people like Jess and Woke, Mitchell, all of you guys, Junior, I'm thankful. I really am. I really am. You guys make it. There were times where I didn't want to get on this stream. I didn't want to do it. What is it worth? Fuck all this stuff. But we bring that positivity back. We bring that hope back. We bring that optimism back. And I'll be honest with you guys. I really do think we're healing. I think it feels good. And if we get out on November 5th and we make a change, not just at the presidential level, guys, but we vote for people that represent us and not corporations, people that represent overturning things like Citizens United and getting money out of politics, getting dark money out of politics. This ain't over. Even if we keep Trump out of office November 5th, this ain't over. We got a fight to fight, and if we can get Trump the fuck out the way, there's a lot of shit on the left that we're going to be talking about. There's a lot of shit when it comes to money being put in politicians' pockets. There's a lot of shit when it comes to money being in the prison systems and health care. There's a lot of shit that I'm educating myself on. And we're gonna do something about that too. But first we got to win November 5th. First, we got to win November 5th. All right, guys. I love you guys to death. Don't forget to get out there and touch grass. Get off the internet. Don't just doom scroll. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for being here. And next stream is Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. I should have a Pride video that I did about Jordan Klepper coming out real soon. As soon as I beat the copyright dispute. It always takes a little bit to beat it. But if it's good, it comes out tomorrow. If it's not good, it'll come out on a different day. MAGA Meltdown every Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific. You guys get to watch the funniest videos I can find on the internet of crazy-ass Trump supporters. Don't forget to go to my channel and check out the ones that already exist. Check out the podcast with people like Richard Abel, David Lipsky, Adam Mockler. I got one with Adam Mockler. Wick TV. Go check out those podcasts. Tell me what you think about all those things. There's a lot to see, a lot to comment on, so help me out. Share it, like it, do all those things. All right, guys. Love you to death. See you on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific. Bye!